tonight for the Flyers will be Pelle Lindbergh with a 3.21 average, 4-4-1 in his record in the 10 games he's played in. And for the Los Angeles Kings, it'll be Mario Lessard. He's played in 7 games with 1 shutout, 2-2-1, and a 3.45 average. Wally Harris is the referee. The linesmen are Ryan Bozak and Jim Christensen.
Enter the Wendy's Power Play Sweepstakes, by picking up a coupon at Wendy's and mailing it to the Flyers. Whenever the Flyers score on the power play, the winning entry receives dinner for 4 at Wendy's. The grand prize winner receives a free trip for 2 to a final round game in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Accommodations to be made by Rosenbluth Travel. Pick up your coupon at Wendy's today. And another note that Bobby Taylor and I have been paid and selected by Prism TV. Play is underway. The Clark line out there against the Warren Holmes line. As Clark dumps in behind the Kings net to our right, Rick Chartraw checked by Lindsey Carson, kicks the puck free to Holmes, swings out and puts it through Simmer on the left wing, gets past Mark Howe at center ice, but the Flyers now gain possession at center along the near wing. Clark, a rink wide pass to Cochran, rolls it through looking for Carson, slips into the offensive right corner. Clark going in there, chased by Holmes behind the net, overskates the puck. Forechecking is Lindsey Carson to Howe at the point. Drive. Chest-high save. It's behind the goaltender, Lessard. Flyers take a poke at it as Lessard, 10 feet out in front of the crease, is able to cover up the second shot.
Excellent action on the part of the Clark-Carson-Holmgren line, and they're going to the net. Something they've done very well, as this trio has been the only line that Bob McCammon has kept intact since the start of the season. A couple of finals in the league. Boston defeated the Hartford Whalers 8-0 this afternoon, and Chicago has defeated Quebec 3-1, that game being played in Quebec.
All right, out for the Kings on their line. They've got veteran Dion at center with Steve Bozak on the left wing and Darrell Evans on the right, and the Flyers go Sidler, Barber, and Paul Evans, who takes the puck in the right wing corner, spins around behind the net past defenseman Dave Lewis. Barber now is bumped by defenseman Jerry Korob in the Kings' defensive right side. In comes Darrell Evans. The puck kicks out of that corner, and out breaks Dion. Up the middle of the ice. He's got a breaking centerman, Bozak. Headmans him the puck. It slides off his stick into deep in the Flyer zone, where it's cleared by Pelle Lindbergh, but not out on a deflection behind the Philadelphia net. Bozak tied up by Miroslav Dvorak. Marsh goes down, but Dion digs it out. Back to the point, winds it behind the Philadelphia net. Dug out by Dvorak, up in the near side to Evans. Can't get past Dave Lewis. It's kept in at the point by Dion. Hayes checked off, and Sittler is able to slide it through at center. Dion takes it, gives it away to Paul Evans. Drops back to Marsh, who shot from center ice, is grabbed shoulder high by the goaler, Mario Lessard, whose lifetime record against Philadelphia is 0-8-1 with a 4.51 goals against. Former Chicago Blackhawk Terry Ruskowski, and down that right wing side. Tries to center the pass. It's blocked off as Philadelphia now has Flockhart out with Allison and Propp. Defensively, Philadelphia brings out McCrimmon and Frank Bathe. Puck at center ice as Ulf Isaacson, another of the Swedes, is out there with Ruskowski, and the last Los Angeles Kings player to remember a victory against Philadelphia, Mike Murphy on the far wing. Puck in the neutral zone. Both teams probing so far as the play is tied up along the near boards between the player bench at center ice. It's picked up by Isaacson, fires into the Flyer zone, and Philadelphia's Allison back-checking clears it out. Now Jay Wells waits for his line to come out, tries to go in deep, blocked off by Philadelphia. McCrimmon throws it through at center ice. At the Kings line, Larry Murphy back with Jay Wells. Larry Murphy up, trying to play through on the near side. Misfires past everyone over the Flyer goal line. McCrimmon is there, and we have an icing called with 2:26 gone in the first period at the Forum in Los Angeles. Flyers nothing and Kings nothing.
Here it is, the Knockmobile.
No more knocks, guys. We've got star power.
Texaco Star Power. Extra power when Texaco Super Unleaded helps knock out the knocks.
How's that for safely passing?
Terrific. We just safely passed our exit.
Star Power for Star Power.
Collect your set of free steak knives. Receive a free steak knife each time you fill up at the full service island of your participating independent Texaco retailer.
All right, the Kings have a youngster named Gans at center ice with J.P. Kelly and Dave Morrison, and the Flyers go with Sinisalo Goran, centered by Mark Taylor, with Mark Howe and Cochran out. Offensive left circle face-off for Philadelphia to our right. First 2.5 minutes of the game. Sinisalo, left wing, angle shot. Lessard knocks it down in front, bangs it up in the air with his stick. It's still loose. And for the second time in the early moments, a little shaky in front of that net, and Lessard has to make a slap the glove on it save.
Lessard does not control his rebounds very well. He'll kick it out very high. He'll also kick it out past his defenseman. He's very quick, though. He'll make that initial save, but you can beat him if you can go to the net and pick up those loose pucks.
Taylor against Gans, won again by Sinisalo, tries to dump in, it's blocked off, and Dave Morrison, the rookie, throws through on the left wing at center ice to J.P. Kelly, rolls it in the Flyer zone. Gans goes in after it, but Lindbergh sweeps it around to his own defensive left wing side to Lindbergh, out to the blue line, cut off by the Kings. Chartraw sends it all the way in the Flyer zone, and they dump it all the way back the other end. Behind his net, Chartraw up the middle, throws it right through everyone. It goes all the way down the ice, but the linesman in question, Ryan Brozak, said the Flyers have a play, so it goes over the goal line in possession of Cochran. Off the ledge, and we have to point that out as one of the idiosyncrasies of this rink, a deep 4-inch wide ledge inside the glass, so many a clearance pass, instead of rolling along the boards, sits up on that ledge. The Kings know how to play that advantage, and watch it during the game. As up ice, as the Flyers make a line change, it is Gans, slowed down by Mark Taylor, flips into the attack zone in order that a new line can come out. Fox, along with Wendell Holmes and Charlie Simmer, puck in the Flyer zone, cleared once but not out by Marsh, cleared a second time, and he hits the Flyers breaking at center ice. Carson through, looks for Clark. Dvorak's pass just misses him. It carries behind the King net. Jimmy Fox, the leading scorer for the Kings Nov, with 13 goals, 16 assists, 29 points. Puck down in the Flyers' offensive right wing corner, where Korab takes it and just guns it out to center ice. Marsh then caroms a pass to Dvorak, pivots along the near side, flips it through to Holmgren, squeezed off as he goes into the zone, gets past Korab, left circle of Clark in front, and a tip by Holmgren is just wide of the net as Korab released Holmgren, and that set up the 2-on-1 play in front of the net.
They had an excellent chance to take the shot. Clark took the long, low shot, but Holmgren got right by Korab, out-muscled him for the puck. Then the shot came, or the pass by Clark, as he drew the defenseman over, and that deflection by Holmgren was wide and high. He had goaltender Lessard moving the wrong way.
Holmes out with Simmer and Fox for the Kings against Clark, Holmgren, and Carson. Slap shot from the left circle is blocked. Clark digging it out along the offensive right board. Tries to put it in the slot. Simmer takes it away and sends it up through at center ice for Fox. Fox through at the Flyer line. 40-footer. Goes back to the point. Right circle. He's got a man in front. Tries a dump-on pass that's blocked and covered by Philadelphia. And Dvorak now up the middle. He's got a breaking man along the left wing. Carson, who couldn't control, takes it into the zone. Is rubbed out by Warren Holmes. And the Kings control as Dave Lewis wings a pass on the right wing at center ice. Breaking through at the Flyer line. Fox the shot partially smothered from the blue line by the block of Marsh. Flyers try to clear out, kept in by Jay Wells. Rolls it around behind the Philadelphia net. Bozak is in there. It's blocked back into the near corner where it's played up by the Flyers but not out. Now it's taken by Sittler, who's out with Evans into the zone, and Sittler is really a low bridge by Jay Wells and does a somersault over the defenseman as they cheer that. A sellout crowd, 16,005. Let's pick it up. Dion up the middle. Shot into the zone. Smothered wide of the net. McCrimmon wraps it up on the near side to Evans. Evans looks like for an outlet man. Left winging beautifully to Barber. Over the line. Left circle drive. Right on. Rebound. Right in front and cut wide by Sittler. And once again, Bobby Taylor said he does not cover the rebounds well. Bathe along the left board. Behind the net. It carries past Sittler and bound by the Kings back to the right point. McCrimmon clears it back into the offensive right wing corner. Boom. Jay Wells pushes off Sittler. That allows Larry Murphy to take the puck behind the net. Swing away from the forechecking pressure of Paul Evans. Winds it up on his left wing side. Bathe keeps it in past Darrell Evans. Blocks the puck. Keeps the Kings from clearing it out. And then Sittler comes in to make sure that it's a stoppage of play in the Los Angeles zone. 14:15 remaining at the Forum in Los Angeles in a scoreless hockey game.
This Bud's for everyone who's got the heart and courage to go the distance. Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
Mario Lessard, the only team that he has not beaten in his National Hockey League career. These Philadelphia Flyers get it back to Howe. Wrist shot blocked from the point. Glove to the near side and thrown away by the Los Angeles defense. Covered in the offensive right wing corner by Prop, who's out with Flockhart and Allison and Howe. It goes to the point. Allison is there. Shot Steered away to the right by Lassard into that corner where Mike Murphy tries to come out. Kept in by Prop, but onto the stick of Mark Hardy, who puts it into center ice. Philadelphia takes it there through to Allison. Rink-wide pass blocked at the skates of Isaacson and played at center ice. Hal goes left wing to Prop, and he slashes it down behind the Kings net. Rolls around to the Kings defensive left wing corner. Isaacson is cut off, and there's Mark Hardy getting right past the hip check of Flockhart. Fires it into the zone. Ruskowski is spun around and dumped. And as he looks at the referee, beseechingly, the Flyers back up the middle. Over the line, Howe tried to play through to the breaking Prop. The Kings take it off. Shoot at the center. Howe rags the puck, avoids Ruskowski's check. Drops it back where it's played by Allison into the Kings zone. Philadelphia now makes a partial line change. They have Gorance just getting into the play. He checks off the King winger as the puck comes to Dvorak at center ice. Clears it in weakly, and Los Angeles out on the right wing to Mike Murphy. Skips past him, and Philadelphia has Dvorak out there with Cochran as they've been unable to get the Philadelphia defense pairing cleared off completely. Now Dvorak at center. Flyers cleared through for Gorance. That'll give them a chance to bring Cochran off, bring Marsh on with Dvorak, and it's Gorance out with Sinisalo and Mark Taylor as the puck tied up in the Flyers' offensive left wing corner. We've played 7:14 into a scoreless first period. There are no penalties on the board, and the Flyers out cheating Los Angeles 4-0.
Gene, you take a look at the injury list for the Los Angeles Kings, and it reads like a MASH report. Dan Boner is out with a dislocated elbow, and there's 3 broken wrists. Peter Helander, Doug Smith, and Dave Taylor. And they just lost their excellent rookie, Bernie Nichols, who in fact was leading the team in goals and leading the rookie scoring in goals.
Offensive left circle draw. Won by Gans, who's out with J.P. Kelly, Dave Morrison, and the Flyers with Gorance, Mark Taylor, and Sinisalo. Marsh at center. Pass through, broken up at center by the unusually strong checking Kings club. Buck behind the Philadelphia net. J.P. Kelly chasing Dvorak. The Flyers clear, not out. Korak from the point. Right on, and the rebound right there was J.P. Kelly, but it was poked away by Lindbergh as the Kings dump it far corner. And it's played by Sinisalo to Marsh and away to Gorance at center ice. Surrounded by 4 Kings as they get back on their check quickly. Flyers cleared behind the LA net. Dave Lewis out in front. Looks for a man to feature. Has trouble. They have 2 men there. Gives it away to Mark Taylor. Tries to go into the corner with the puck. Deflected by Dave Lewis behind the net where it's dug out by Dave Gans. And he starts up the middle. Out of the King zone and right wings it through for Dave Morrison over the line. And Morrison ran right into his own winger, J.P. Kelly. But there are a couple of new line mates, and that'll happen once in a while, but you don't like to see it happen at home, Chief. Marsh at center, 70-footer wide of Lassard. The Flyers now bring out Holmgren along with Carson and Clark. They check behind the Los Angeles net. Larry Murphy has grabbed and spun around by Holmgren, retreats and rolls the puck up on his own left wing side, where it's played by Charlie Simmer through in center ice. He's cut off by Carson, allowing Clark to go back to McCrimmon and up on the left wing at center ice for Lindsey Carson. Tapped off his stick to Marsh. Flyers rolled it into center, and Holmgren slaps it off the linesman, followed up by Carson deep into the left wing corner to Clark. A drive right on. Lassard the save, and Philadelphia unable to take advantage of the rebound, but they dig it out along the left board. Behind the net to Clark. Tries to tip in front for Carson. It's deflected far side, and out breaks Darrell Evans in center ice for Los Angeles. Up the middle with Simmer on his right. Fox now comes into the zone. Holds the puck. Goes back to the point. Closing in is Murphy. Side of the net, and it was tipped wide by Holmes, and then we've got a man hurt at center ice, and we don't know how that happened. It's a defenseman on the near point, and while we wait to see who that is and just exactly what happened, we'll tell you 10:53 remain in the scoreless period, first period from the Forum in Los Angeles.
What do you do at 5 and dinner's at 6 and the restaurant only takes cash? Get into the act.
With PSFS Act 1.
You have an 8 a.m. train and you couldn't get to the bank the day before? Get into the act.
With PSFS Act 1.
We can help you make it.
Do your banking when you want, where you want, no matter what time it is. PSFS Act 1 can help you make it.
We can help you make it. We can help you make it.
It's Jimmy Fox, the injured King. I think he just got his bell rung right at the blue line. But Mario Lassard made a big save off Clark, and he has to be a little bit fortunate because Clark's shot hit him on the shaft of his goal stick. That's the thin part that sticks up above the glove. So the save was made by the goaltender by the thinnest part of the equipment.
I know you're pleased that Clark is shooting more often this year. Made wins the draw at center ice, through to Clark, tips it into the zone, and they all chase. First there is Jay Wells, spins around to the left side of his net, up the middle of the ice, misfires a pass, and it should be a routine icing, as first to reach the puck behind the Philadelphia net is Brad McCrimmon. Don't forget, we'll be on the air tomorrow night from Vancouver at 10 on the radio and television network against the Canucks. And don't forget, the Flyers come home for their first event, the Flyer-Wise Fight for Lives Carnival, Tuesday, December 7th from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, you can call the Flyers office during the working day. Prices of the tickets, just $4, and they're tax deductible. And among a myriad of things there, you'll get a chance to win a $4,000 mink coat from New York Fur Salon of Cherry Hill. And I know Chief wants that coat badly.
I already got a coat from there, Gene. They're great people there at the New York Fur Salon, and they really look after you.
Working on a little flaw in the ice in the corner to our right.
Kings have only had one shot on goal, and that was a long, low shot that Lindbergh had to be quick on because John Paul Kelly was right on his doorstep hoping for a rebound or at least an attempt to tip it in, and he was able to kick it by him. The Flyers have had 6 shots on Lassard.
There was a stick that splintered in the corner to the left of the LA goal, and Dion in there with Steve Bozak making sure that all those splinters come up. As Don Perry looks on, a little salt and pepper in his hair, post-crop.
Why there's more salt than there's pepper.
And a very intense coach, very intense player, and they like him here, and he's done an excellent job. All right, Philadelphia, Sittler, Evans, and Barber with Howe and Cochran against Dion, Bozak, and Evans. Puck dropped back to the near side. Howe goes to the middle of the ice, looks for a shot, drives it deflected right in front. Barber can't take it off. It's slashed at by Bozak, who gets the puck up the ice into the Philadelphia zone near side. Cochran makes sure he gets it out to Evans, retreats into the zone, spins away from the forechecking of Bozak, gets past Dion, but loses the puck on the far side at center, picks it up over the red line, clears in off the skate. Look out, it's behind the defenseman, Mark Marty, and they have 2 Flyers breaking in. Sittler on one side and Barber on the other was able to clear it to center ice. Now Cochran, blue line to blue line, gives it away to Jay Wells. They dump in on the lead, looking for Dion, left wing corner. He's checked off, fights for the puck with Sittler. In there is Cochran along with Darrell Evans. They battle for the puck. Dion gets it out, tries to center. Checked nicely by Sittler off the play. You have to be very quick to make sure Dion doesn't generate offense from behind the net. Now it goes back behind again. Cochran takes off Darrell Evans, allowing Sittler to dig the puck out of the Flyer left wing corner and skate through unchallenged to center. Right winging a pass at the Los Angeles line off Paul Evans' stick behind the net. He's tied up by Mark Hardy. They battle for it. Barber digs it out. We're going to have a penalty, I believe, against Paul Evans for holding Mark Hardy, the Los Angeles defenseman, the first penalty of the night. It'll come at 10:29 of the first period. Kings power play coming up at the Forum in Inglewood. There is no score in the game.
TV. Check. Cosmic Arc cartridge. Check. Power. We have power.
Cosmic Arc is a game cartridge for the Atari video system.
Meteor! I got it!
The Cosmic Arc searches out strange creatures on distant planets.
Beam them up!
But the deeper the arc travels in space, the tougher it gets.
We may never get back to Earth! Boys, clean your room. We're back.
Cosmic Arc by Imagic.
Los Angeles has a pretty decent power play. In fact, they rank 6th in the overall league in statistics on the power play. The Flyers are 12th in killing off penalties. And just lately, they're 12 for 67. They've allowed 12 goals in the last 67 times they've been shorthanded.
That's better than 1 in 5, which is excellent from their early season start. The Kings are 25 for 94. In other words, they hit a power play goal less than every 4 opportunities they have. Last year against Philadelphia in the 3 games, they were 4 for 17. But they missed their number 1 power play goal scorer. That's Bernie Nichols, who had 11. Now Philadelphia, Clark and Howe out there along with McCrimmon in base. And the Kings break up at center ice. Through, looking for Holmes as the puck cleared behind the net. Swept away by Lindbergh. Back to the point, kept in by Larry Murphy. Left side to Korab, who can drive right in front and hit the skate of McCrimmon, and then cleared away from the slot back to the point. Hand pass, but Philadelphia gets it out. Past Murphy to Bathe. Blue line shot right on. And Lassard again very sloppy with the clearance. 8:56 remaining first period. 1:24 on the Kings penalty. They have Simmer out there along with Holmes and Ruskowski as they feed on the right side to Larry Murphy. He clears in, In there, McCrimmon winds it around the Clark. He'll be unchallenged by Korab and is able to steer it down the ice. 8:35 remaining in the period. We're down to the last minute of the penalty against Paul Evans as Marsh is out with Dvorak and Barber with Ray Allison. Larry Murphy storming up at center. The Kings go into the zone, but it's a ragged play offside.
Don't understand why Korab didn't challenge Clark at that point position. He was in not that much, but on a power play, you have that extra chance to stay in there because that other defenseman could come over for you. Terry Ruskowski out there now. He came over here from the Chicago Blackhawks. And the Flyers are using Barber and Allison and Howe and Clark, the two forwards up in the power play or the penalty killing situations.
Billy Barber. He and Clark are the only two players of the Flyers who ever lost to Los Angeles, as long as we're going on that trivia. One thing we noted, the ledge around the boards and behind the net. We also have to mention that they have rather thick metal supports of the glass, and when they wrap high around, it can hit those supports and kick out at cockamamie angles. Now Barber tries to work in. He's beaten, and back come the Kings. Up over the line, moving in is Dion. Left corner pass, over skating is Darrell Evans. Crunch by Philadelphia, but it's dug out behind the net by Ruskowski. Checked in there by Dvorak. Ruskowski goes back to the point. Shot on the net. And Marsh was right there with Lindbergh. They deflected away to the near side. Going into the corner, Steve Bozek. Behind the net, Ruskowski's got a man in front. Shot wide by Dion in perfect right circle position. Back to Mark Hardy at the left point. 20 seconds on the penalty. Shot on the net. That deflected over Marsh and hit Lindbergh in the breadbasket. Goes back to the Kings. Bozak at the side of the net. Got Dion breaking in front. Pass deflected off the skate at Dvorak to the far side where Evans steers it behind the net. In there is Ruskowski to Dion. Left circle, tries to play in front. Deflected back to the point. Penalty is over. Drive way wide of the net, and the Flyers survive. Hardy a shot wide of the net. As Dion was knocked to the side of the net with Ruskowski, and in the net was Dvorak, but the Flyers do a good job and keep this game scoreless with the penalty box cleared and 7:15 remaining first period. Pass up at 7, taken and tipped away by Cochran, but inadvertently back in the King zone when Flockhart was circling to come out, and we have an offside call. 7:10 remaining in the first period at the Forum in Inglewood, California. We have no score.
You have 25 seconds to write down this toll-free number. Call it and find out about Delaware Cash Reserve. Find out for yourself how you can earn high money market dividends, compounded daily, with as little as $1,000 in an investment so liquid you can elect to write checks on it. Dial 1-800-523-4640. 523-4640. Delaware Cash Reserve, the money market fund from the Delaware Group.
We're back at the Forum in Inglewood, California. Gene Hart with Bobby Taylor. We have no score in the game. 7:08 remaining first period. The Flyers have the only penalty, and they're out shooting Los Angeles 7-3. Cochran puts it on Howe's stick, up the middle, works to the left side, into the zone. Angle shot, score from the left circle.
Boy, what a beautiful low wrist shot, and he keeps it low. That beats Lessard. Lessard has good hands, but has trouble with low shots. And this time, Mark Howe just held on to the puck, and he was able to penetrate to the left face-off circle and take that big wrist shot and beating goaltender Mario Lessard low to the glove side. Lessard moving very slow, but the puck was a perfect shot just inside the goal post. 1-0 Philadelphia on Mark Howe's goal from Glenn Cochran.
At 13:04, and Howe, who had 3 points against Boston on Wednesday, a goal and 2 assists, is coming right now. Do you get the feeling Bobby's warming up?
Yes, I do.
Puck at center ice. Philadelphia loses it, but gets it back. Howe throw to Prop over the line. Tries to get around Korab, who cuts him off. Clears the puck to the point. Flyers poke check it, but Cochran can't keep it in. The Kings break out once, break out to Simmer along the left wing into the corner. He's got Holmes breaking for the net. Tibbetts back to the point, and a weak pass by Dave Lewis is taken off by Philadelphia's Prop and through to Gorance at center ice, coming along with Flockhart. Over the line, Gorance tries to go through, and the Kings sweep it out to Simmer. Up ice along with Jim Fox at the Flyer line. Long shot. Wide of the net. Bangs into the corner right of Lindbergh. Philadelphia clears it away to Gorance. Forechecked by Warren Holmes, but gets it to Flockhart, and Flockhart guns it off Prop stick at center ice, and it rolls into the King zone, and Philadelphia makes a line change. They bring out Clark along with Carson and Holmgren, and they have Bathe on with McCrimmon as the Kings dump it into the zone, but it's touched up by Bozek. We have a 2-line pass coming out of the Los Angeles zone, and we'll pause for station identification on this stoppage of play. pause for station identification on the Flyers Hockey Network.
This is WTAF, TV 29 in Philadelphia.
We'll give the official on that first Flyer goal. Mark Howell's fifth from Glenn Cochran in 13:04. And we have 5:52 remaining in this first period with Philadelphia up by 1.
Another interesting final at the Forum in Montreal. Detroit and the Canadiens, 5-5. Buck down on the Flyers' offensive right side. Holmgren battling for it with two Kings. They get it, and they storm up at center. Dion's got Evans down that right wing into the zone. Looks to shoot. Blocked off by Vade. Evans goes down, and back comes Carson down that left wing. Gets inside his man, and then, boy, does Jay Wells ever bury him. And Dion is with checked, and they're going to call a stoppage of play. Lindsay tried to just do a little ballet twist past Jay Wells, who got him right in the breadbasket with a shoulder check. Boom.
Real solid body check and a very clean body check as well. Lindsey Carson tried to make a dipsy doodle. Wells was not even going to go for the puck, and you perfectly timed it. Really got a good solid body check on Lindsey Carson and rung his bell. Sudsy Settlemeyer's out there checking the Flyer forward, but that's one thing a defenseman has to do on a one-on-one situation. Let the puck go and take the body, and Wells did it to perfection, getting a beautiful body check on Lindsey Carson. And with the puck getting dumped out of the Kings zone, the faceoff will come outside at the center ice area, but Wally Harris blew the whistle rather to make sure that Lindsey Carson wasn't seriously injured. Carson, I believe, got hit, and he might be looking at his nose. Sudsy Settlemeyer looking at his nose, but
looked like he had a little blood there. Bobby, the Flyers might have gotten a little break there because Lessard threw that puck at center, and Dion picked it up at the red line ahead of the defense. Could have been in on a breakaway. Right puck at center ice. Dion along with Bozek and Evans, and the Flyers have Clark out there now with Sinisalo and Holmgren. Puck at center ice, fed far side by Clark, bumped off by Evans, but then Evans is taken out of the play by Bade as they go through to Holmgren. Holmgren is stopped at center ice by Larry Murphy. Play very scattered. There's a break down that right side by Steve Bozak. Into the corner, around in front of McCrimmon, who gets a stick down on the ice, blocks off the shot. Boom! Buries Bozak with a check as Clark digs it out of his own left wing corner. Scoots behind the net, swings out to the left side, and sends it up the center on the right wing for Holmgren. Tries to clear the red line, and then for the second time at center ice, Jay Wells buries a Flyer. He buried Carson before. You remember earlier he took out Sittler, so the Flyers better measure Mr. Jay Wells, who's playing like a Mack truck. Philadelphia stops Dion with a casual play in the zone, and back comes Sinisalo up the middle. At the Los Angeles line, drops to Holmgren, tries a screen shot. It's bounced back to the point. Turnaround shot by Sittler between the circles, steered to the right by Lessard. As the Kings, Murphy puts it to center, and it's played up ice to Bozak, going against Dvorak. Swings wide to his right, into the corner, round behind the net, overskates the puck. In there is Paul Evans of Philadelphia, ties the puck up. Mike Murphy comes in for the Kings, along with Philadelphia's Brad Marsh. Then we get a stoppage of play. 1-0 Philadelphia. Howell, his fifth from Cochran at 13:04. We have 4:20 remaining in the first period at the Forum in Inglewood.
Who said body checking was gone from the game? Jay Wells has had 3 solid checks. The 2 that he had on Sittler and Holmgren, both players, and the Flyers were trying to get out of the way, but the solid one was on Lindsey Carson. Holmgren trying to come up, Wells coming over, and as they tried to jump out of the way, he was taken right out of the play on a perfectly timed body check and a hip check, and that's very hard to do.
Defensive right circle face-off Philadelphia. Barber out along with Evans and Sittler against Ruskowski, who's on with Isaacson and Mike Murphy. Puck in the near corner. Tied up is Isaacson by Marsh. Now tied up on the near side is Sittler. Gets it up to Dvorak and slides it through to center. But the Kings in possession. Chartraw at center ice. Passes into the Philadelphia zone. Broken up by Barber. The Dvorak caroms off the right wing at center for Paul Evans. He's bumped hard by Mike Murphy. And there's Isaacson, who in turn is given a light check right at the Flyer player bench along the near side by Miro Dvorak. We get another stoppage of play. 3:53 remaining in the first period. And again, a statistic, Bobby, that has to please all of the Flyer coaching staff. The Kings put 3 shots.
Flyers have had 9 on Mario Lessard, but they've forechecked extremely well inside the Los Angeles zone.
Barber, Sittler, Evans, Marsh, and Dvorak out there against Murphy, Isaacson, and Ruskowski. Mark Hardy on with Chartraw. Here comes Ulf Isaacson firing cross ice into the Flyer defensive left wing corner. Barber sweeps it around behind the net. King sent 2 men in. Barber tries to get it to Evans. Stick handles his way past 1 man, but can't get past Mark Hardy, who fires it behind the Philadelphia net. Isaacson chases Dvorak. It goes to Barber. Kept in by Chartraw. Weak pass off the body of Billy Barber by Chartraw, comes to center. Then Edmonds takes it in the attack zone. A reverse pass looking for Barber. It hits Marsh. Caroms way up into the air and out of the rink far side, and looks like they'll call for a neutral zone face-off. But 3:20 remaining in this first period. 1-0 Philadelphia.
Rick Chartraw was really a bright prospect for the Montreal Canadiens. In fact, when he played in the American League in Nova Scotia, he was their best defenseman, and voted the best defenseman in the American League. And saw limited action between the forward line and the defense position with Montreal. He came here for future considerations in '81 and was sent down for a while last year. But under Fred or Don Perry, he might realize that potential that Montreal saw in him.
Korab back on the defense along with Dave Lewis, and up front they have J.P. Kelly with Morrison centered by that youngster Gans. Puck in the Flyer zone. Cochran is knocked down, but Howe smartly gets it off the left wing boards to center. Dave Lewis, the former Islander, who came here along with Billy Harris for a guy named Butch Goring, who has helped the Islanders a bit. Puck in the Los Angeles zone. Shot out at center. No possession. Cochran takes it off. Goes to the left side where Howe picks up his point. Over the red line, and Mark fires it into the zone, but offside is Ray Ellison. 2:46 remaining first period. 1-0 Philadelphia. We might tell everybody at home it was only 75 degrees here, and it was so terrible we had to stand outside all day and go to Marina Del Rey and watch the boats go off into the sunset.
Well, the only goal scorer, Mark Howe. 1-0 Philadelphia. We have 2:46 remaining in the first period.
Lockhart, Allison, and Propp out for Philadelphia. Out there for the Kings. Still Kelly, Gans, and Morrison. Kings have not generated a whole lot of offense this year. It's just 79 goals, and they've lost a bunch of that, 1/5 of it, in the absence of Bernie Nichols, who had 16. Now Propp along the far side, cut off by Korab, who flips into the corner. Boom, a check by Cochran on Gans. Puck still, anybody's behind the net. Boom, Cochran takes another bump at J.P. Kelly, and that allows Flockhart to storm at center. Nice poke check, though, by Korab. Broke it up, but Korab gambled as he was standing flat-footed with Flockhart coming right at him. Well, I'm going to tell you a score that's going to open your eyes. You ready? At the Island. At the Island. Rangers 3. Islanders, no score. That's a final. And I'll tell you, we're going to have to go back a long way to know when the last time the Stanley Cup champions were beaten at home. And for them, the slump continues and deepens.
Well, they were beat by Flyers at home.
Now the puck into the corner. Shut out. Puck to the point to Bay. Drive. Whoop. Wide of the long side, and looked like it had a little bit of there to hit. Now the Flyers working along the near wing. Pokes it back to Bay at the point. Flips it toward the net off the stick of Sinisalo. Wide to the left or right of Lazard. Flyers steal it in front. There is Sinisalo with the stuffer as he stripped Jay Wells and almost beat Lazard, who came up with his best move and goal for the Kings tonight. 1:31 remaining first period at the Forum in Inglewood, California. Flyers 1 and the Kings no score.
It's the girls against the guys. Who will take the ball, yeah? The Pepsi generation wins when the game is volleyball. Come and taste it. Pepsi's got it. Pepsi's got your taste. You're the Pepsi generation. Pepsi's got your taste for life.
Chief, I've gone back 5 years in my own personal record book, and I haven't seen an Islander home shutout in that time. So it's at least 5 years, and they were beaten at home tonight. So Philadelphia, with a victory here, they can draw within 4 points of the Islanders and still have 3 games in hand, Chief. That's the significance now and the motivation. Flyers give it away, left wing corner. Zimmer, sluggish and centering the puck, is buried by Marsh, allowing Clark to outlet on the right side to Dvorak. Throw it center with Holmgren on his right. Into the zone, but once again, a nice play by Jay Wells. Breaks it up. The Kings will come out on the delay whistle. It's passed out by Holmes. He's blocked by Holmgren. It's played through by Clark. The Carson left circle! Score! Lindsey Carson from Clark and Holmgren at 19:06, and it's 2-0.
Los Angeles has really picked up and play in their own zone. They played fairly well up until now. This time they were caught as Jay Wells was trying to knock down Clark, and he just slipped the puck right through. That left Chartraw all alone, and Chartraw had come over Murphy had come over a little bit too far, and that allowed Holmgren to speed Lindsey Carson on the left wing, and he was able to shoot the puck, and it hit Mario Lessard in the glove, but he didn't get enough of it, and the Flyers have a 2-0 lead.
That's Carson, his ninth from Holmgren and Clark in 1906. So the Kings now are back by 2 as they have Dion out along with Bozek and Evans. The Flyers, there's a play that could be an icing if Philadelphia's Howe gets there first, but Lindbergh, realizing Bozek was coming in to make a play, clears it himself. Dion chops it down, offensive right wing corner. Bozek in front, shot! What a save! Rebound, shot wide! Oh my! Super play by Dion to the side of the net, and Bozak just had his pocket picked by Pelle Lindbergh. Puck back to the point. Dumped in off Howe's shoulder. Gets the carom and sends it to center ice with 20 seconds left. Puck rolls deep in the Los Angeles end. Chartraw backhands it, almost gives it away to Paul Evans, who picks it up along the offensive right board. Goes into the corner. Gets some help from Sittler against Dion and Chartraw. Chartraw digs it out behind the net. Rolls it up on the left wing side with 5 seconds remaining in the period. Darrell Evans throws it to center ice. Cochran cuts it off from Bozak and slides into the Flyers zone. The horn sounds to end the first period at the Forum in Los Angeles with the score, the Philadelphia Flyers 2 and the Los Angeles Kings 0. Now on the TV side, viewers are going to see an interview with Ron Flockhart and the first of a new series brought back, the Mini Clinic. On the radio side, I'll be in conversation about this all-time Flyer King series. Then the Chief and I will be back to analyze this opening 20 minutes of play. Again after 1, Flyers 2, Kings no score as our intermission activities continue after this. In Englewood, California, Gene Hart along with Bobby Taylor as we approach the witching hour back east, and it's an early evening time here at 8:29. And Chief, the question I asked you earlier before we went away, any sense of feeling of that first period in its totality for Philadelphia?
An excellent first period, Gene, and the Flyers have struggled sometimes in the first periods throughout the first part of the season, but they sure put to rest that. They really played strong in their own zone, limiting the Kings to just 4 shots on goal, but they really went after them in their end. They were jumping on the puck. All 4 lines were jumping on the puck. They weren't standing around waiting for things to happen. And when you have a team that's really working hard and jumping on the other team in their own zone, they're going to make a lot of mistakes, and the goaltenders are going to have to be extra sharp when you have a lot of pressure.
It's a rare game today where you see 2 goaltenders wearing the old Bernie Perrant type mask and not the new cage mask.
That's for sure. You know, in the scoreboard, we have pretty well all finals. Boston defeated Hartford 8-0. Chicago beat Quebec 3-1. New Jersey Devils ended a great big long non-winning streak as they defeated Calgary in Calgary 4-3. Winnipeg beat Toronto 6-3. That was right in Toronto. As Gene mentioned, the Rangers shutting out the Islanders 3-0. Detroit and Montreal tie at 5. And now St. Louis is beating Pittsburgh 4-1. That's play on in the second period.
Let me ask you this, Bobby. You played. Flyers, if they have any kind of look up at the board, they know the Islanders lost. They know the Rangers are 2 points closer. Do you really feel a little extra surge? You say, gee, if you win this game, guys, not only is it a win on the road, but now you'd be 4 back at the island with 3 in hand.
Oh, definitely. They're very well aware of it. When that other team wins, they know that that can push them a little bit harder.
Right out there for the Kings, Holmes along with Simmer and Fox. The Flyers, Carson with Clark and Holmgren. Puck at the Philadelphia line. Howe takes it away from Charlie Simmer. Simmer throws it away, or Howe throws it to center ice, where it's dug out by Chartraw. Played in by Fox onto the stick of Lindsey Carson. Puts it up through to nobody in particular at center ice. And here come the Kings. Mark Hardy lifts it into the zone. It bounces into the offensive corner behind the net. In there is Howe. Works away from the check of Simmer. Pokes it up on the near side, but it's deflected far side. And all Holmgren does is roll it past defenseman Hardy deep in the King zone. Taken around behind the goal line. Hardy is checked by Carson. Boom, Hardy is pulled down by Clark. Flyers offensive left wing forechecking. Holmgren in front. Carson is passed to Clark, left circle. Weak shot is wide and steered behind the net. Holmgren a run at Simmer. Takes him down behind the net. Flyers steal left side. Lindsey Carson on the net. Boom! Holmgren is pulled down, and it's going to be Mark Hardy going off for hold. And he looks at Wally Harris beseechingly, and Harris says, "You're off." And he goes to call the penalty that are even at 1. Flyer power play coming up. Early second period. They lead at 2-0.
Which of you Imagic experts has created the toughest game for Atari's video system?
Demon attack! Tough!
there, fire breath.
You not good enough for demon attack.
Watch out for that demon.
You in big trouble. Die winning.
Good work, Voltar. Demon attack really is tough.
Of course.
The dry goods available at all stores, Hollywood Video, Philadelphia, and Springfield, Pennsylvania locations.
Flyers' first chance on the power play as Hardy picks up that holding penalty at the 55-second mark.
They're 18th overall on the offense on the power play, but perhaps a bright note, they had 3 out of 4 against Boston Wednesday. Barber, point shot, right on, under the screen set up by Allison. Rebounds out to Darrell Evans, tries to send it up through to Bozak, but it slips past him, rolls over the Flyer goal line where Lindbergh gets it to Howe. Rink-wide pass taken in flight by Allison. Got Prop breaking down that left wing into the zone, deep into the corner, back to Allison, in front, shot. That was blocked off by defenseman Dave Lewis. Rebound shot on the net from the left side by Howe. Ricochets to Flockhart. He's aboard, at the boards, right circle, behind the net, gets it back from Prop, back to the point. Oh, Barber's got a good drive on, and Lassard then left glove and makes the save, while Lewis and Prop were doing some jousting in front.
Lassard has those good hands, and most goaltenders in the league do possess good catching gloves. Barber got the shot up a little bit high, and it was a pretty good glove save by Mario Lassard. Lewis did an excellent job of taking off Brian Prop to the side so that his goaltender could see the puck and have the right to make the save without it being screened or deflected. But a good play by Flockhart and Barber getting it away.
We're going to ask Bobby Taylor on a scale of 1 to 10, how was his catching glove? Puck down that right side. Flyers working hard just to get possession. Dave Lewis doing a good job of poking it away from Prop. Digs it out, loses it to Flockhart. Flockhart bouncing a pass, trying to get it through Ruskowski, and it bounces right through Ruskowski and Barber into the Flyer zone where Howe is cut off by Ruskowski. Breaks off the check out of his left wing corner. Now gets some help from Flockhart, but controls the puck with 54 seconds on the advantage to Barber along the left wing, trying to play it through, but now the Kings have tightened up. The puck rolls behind the Los Angeles net. Jay Wells there, but gives it away to Dvorak at the point, trying to go to Barber, drive wide, rebounds out in front, and Holmgren at his knees, can't make the play, and the Kings stood it up to Ruskowski, and he sweeps it down the ice.
Gene Holmgren just buried Wells behind the net with a check, so he got him back.
Now Philadelphia coming up the middle. Fed into the zone by Holmgren, around behind Lassard. Larry Murphy is out there along with Wells working, and then Clark is just buried, but Dvorak keeps it in along the left side to the side of the net. Holmgren had a man in front. Sittler didn't get him the puck, and the Kings break out along the near side. Pass to Mike Murphy, tries to roll it in and flubs it, so Dvorak is able to dig it out. Plays on the right side, and here comes Philadelphia up the middle. McCrimmon through to Sittler, up the middle, rolls it in on net. Lassard eats it up and sits on it with 1 second remaining on the penalty to Mark Hardy.
Boy, Wells really took Clark out beside the net there, pulling him off so he couldn't get at the puck, to keep him away and allow the Kings to take that puck and get it out of trouble. 1 second remains in that penalty to Mark Hardy. Here's where Holmgren really decked Jay Wells. As Wells was looking around. Now we have a shouting match or yapping match between Clark and Jay Wells, and it was over that play that Wells pulled Clark down at the side of the net when he wasn't near the puck or going to the puck. And they had a few words to say to each other. 17:06 remains in the second period. The Flyers are up 2-0. As Bobby Clark will make his way to the box as there's only 1 second remaining on the power play for Philadelphia.
While his figures aren't that horrendous, he does Hardy lead, or Jay Wells lead the Kings in penalty minutes with 51. I remember once when the Russian said the Flyers aren't that tough. We have bad men in Russia too. As Mark Hardy looks on, he says, we have Ivan Ivanovich, who already has 34 penalty minutes this season. Offensive right circle. Philadelphia made sure that the defensemen, Marsh and Dvorak, know that Hardy will come out of the penalty box behind him as soon as the puck is dropped. Flyers have Sinisala with Gorentz and Mark Taylor along with Marsh and Dvorak. And there's that play made at center ice looking for Hardy, and Dvorak's right there to break it loose. Flips into the Flyer zone, and Mark Taylor goes from his right to his left wing at center ice, and Marsh's pass eludes everyone deep in the Kings zone where Horab was backed along with Dave Lewis, the Kings captain. Is able to get it out off Gorent's stick to center. Played by Dvorak to Gorentz, and he winds it down behind Lassard. 3:20 gone into a scoreless second period. Flyers lead 2-0. The penalties are even at 1. Philadelphia out shooting Los Angeles 14-4. Now the Kings break away. Here comes Bozak with Dion on his right. Tries to go into the zone past Dvorak. Play broken up. Dion follows it up. Grabbed by Mark Taylor behind it. In front shot. Where's the puck? Evans on that deflection was in front, and it appeared Lindbergh not only occupied but screened, and I guess Brad Marsh did his thing again.
Lindbergh made an excellent poke check of that centering pass. As Dion was trying to get it out in front, it went through Marsh, and Lindbergh poked it out. And Darrell Evans was all alone in the slot, and he took that shot. He kept it low, but he couldn't get it up or through Brad Marsh as he was down covering up. Dion was in the corner being grabbed by Mark Taylor. The poke check, and that's where a goal scorer loves to get the puck, especially when you're not being hurried. You could have all day, and this time Bozak kept the puck low, or Evans rather kept the puck low instead of going high.
We asked you that question on a scale of 1 to 10. How was your catching glove?
9.5.
And your hand was the other half? I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Wally Harris, Mr. Calm and Serene, is the referee tonight, along with linesman Ryan Bozak, Jim Christensen. Puck lifted in behind the Philadelphia net, bangs off the top of the glass. Bozak is in there. McCrimmon gives it away, and we're going to have a hold. And it looks like it's against Bozak for holding Philadelphia.
Paul Evans, Gene.
Paul Evans? But the Kings had the puck, and yet the Flyers are tapping their sticks. I don't understand that one. The puck was controlled by the Kings on that side, and yet he stopped play. That's why I thought it was Bozak. All right, we have a Flyer penalty. 3:48 gone, second period. Kings power play coming up. They trail 2-0.
This year, more than 600 people will be killed by coming into contact with power lines. Whether the cause is carelessness or just ignorance, the result is the same. Before installing or moving equipment, or if you see a downed line, call your utility company. Don't put your life on the line.
Second Kings power play. Paul Evans, the second penalty of the game at 3:48 for hooking.
Yes, both Philadelphia penalties came in tonight with just one penalty in his first 18 games. Kings back to the point. Hardy off to Larry Murphy. In along the left wing side to Dion. Out there with Evans and Simmer. Pass. Shot in on the net. Directed wide. Mark Howe takes a slap at it and gets it through Larry Murphy to center ice. Howe out with Clark and Bade on with McCrimmon. And the Kings have Hardy and Larry Murphy along with Dion, Simmer, and Evans. There's a play, and Bade tries to come out with a lookout 2-on-1. Open man at the side of the net. Dion in, shot wide. As he had all the time in the world to make his own play, and the rebound sits on the back of the net. And the Flyers get a break as the play comes to center ice. Oh, my.
Clark got back as Bade made a nice play to knock the puck down at the blue line. He couldn't get over to it, and the Kings quickly jumped on it. But Clark got back just to take his stick away from Dion, hooked him a little bit, forcing the play to go up and the shot go high. Dion trying to get, or pardon me, Evans trying to get through. And as he was knocked down by Clark, that's when the Kings were able to move in close.
Face off just outside the Philadelphia line. Slides in. There's a play right in front of the net, and again the Kings overskate. Barber comes back along with Allison. Allison couldn't break through on the right side, so stopped, drove it down behind the Kings net. Barber, Allison, Dvorak, and Marsh. And the Kings have Hardy, Murphy, Evans, along with Dion and Bozak. Puck into the zone, taken off by Marsh. Fails to clear. Dion keeps it in along the offensive right side. Takes it at the goal line. Tries to dump it in to the corner behind the net. It's blocked off by Marsh, but back to Dion. He's tripped up. Goes over the stick of Barber, and the Flyers break out. Allison's got a half a step. In. Great circle drive over the top of the net, and an excellent lead feather pass by Billy Barber. Now Allison forechecking, offensive left corner of the Flyers, as the Kings have 45 seconds left on the advantage. Clark is out there. Now Allison breaks up ice as the Kings through at the Philadelphia line. Bozak into the right wing corner. Around behind the net. Looks to center. Takes it out to the left wing corner. Back behind to Dion. Dion is pumped hard by Dvorak. Puck at both their feet. Cleared back to the left point to Mark Hardy. No shot to the left circle. He's got Dion at the side of the net. Tries to come back to Evans in front. Blocked off by Dvorak. Evans has it behind the net. Now comes to the near side. Back to the right point to Larry Murphy. To Mike Murphy. Make that Larry again. Now into the corner to Darrell Evans to the side of the net, and Lindbergh falls on it as we get our Murphy straight, but we got the goaltender right.
Now they're going after Bozak as he took the jab at the puck that Billy Lindbergh had frozen along the side of the net. And you'll find your players go to your goaltender's aid all the time whether it's a questionable play or not, but things have calmed down now. Wally Harris could be calling penalties. I think he is. I think Ray Allison will be getting a minor along with Bozak for the Los Angeles Kings. That's who's going off. Both players probably will get it for roughing. Penalties will come at 5:39.
With the Flyers already a man short, but for just 9 seconds. These are coincidental minors, and they'll not skate any further men short on ice. But the 2 players in the box will not have their penalties go up on the board, even though they're minors, and they will not be able to come out until 2 minutes of play have elapsed in the first stoppage.
Bozak came out to try to jab the puck away from Pelle Lindbergh. They came over. Allison straightened up Bozak, and they started to push and shove. Wally Harris called minor penalties to both players. Roughing is the call at 5:39 of the second period.
Bozak 6 minutes, Allison 19. The penalties in the game are 5-3 to Philadelphia. Again, it will still be 5 LA skaters against 4. That rule instituted 2 years ago that one team is short, you do not take a man off for each team on the ice in this situation to cut down on the number of 4 against 3 plays. All right, Flyers will get a man back in 9 seconds. They're still skating shorthanded on the Kings' second power play. Out there is Holmes along with Fox. Flyers win the draw. Clark gets it off to McCrimmon, who sends it all the way down. Now Propp is going to put pressure on the goaltender and Dave Lewis. And as the puck is fed behind the Kings net out of the penalty box comes Paul Evans, and the Flyers again 2 for 2 killing penalties as the Kings simmer overskates at center ice. Clark just backhands it into the zone to the left of Lessard. In there is Korab, plays it up the middle, kept in at the point by Philadelphia, but unable to control it is McCrimmon, and Simmer is able to poke it off the stick to center ice. Now Bathe tries to headman Billy Barber. Korab picks it up along the near side, sends it to the blue line, kept in by Bathe. Sittler a shot, just deflected wide through a screen, and then rolled by Paul Evans out of the offensive left wing corner on the rebound to the side of the Kings net, where it's grabbed by Lessard with 13:44 remaining, scoreless second period. 2-0 Philadelphia at the Forum in Inglewood, California.
Kings have really not been able to get any kind of offense going against the Flyers. Mario Lessard has faced 14 Flyer shots, been beaten by 2 of them, and the Flyers have been in and around that net quite a bit over the first period and 6 minutes of this one.
6:16 gone in this period. The shot's 3-0 Philadelphia. Sittler will take the draw against Holmes. Back to the point. McCrimmon a drive. Oh, it hit Lessard, and you could see from his reaction that it changed direction, and he really didn't see it until it hit him in the breadbasket.
The shot from McCrimmon, the puck came back off the draw, was rolling, and when he took the shot and you hit a rolling puck and that puck keeps rolling, it comes out of goaltender the same way a knuckleball comes out of hitter in baseball.
Dave at the point from Barber has nowhere to go behind the net. The Paul Evans can only slow it down, and Jay Wells scoots it up on the far side. It slides out to center ice. Nobody has possession. Finally dug out by Simmer on the off wing, tries to go in past Bathe. He does, the puck doesn't, and then Bathe slashes it all the way down the ice. Flyers, I think, are going to be called for the first time tonight for icing as Jay Wells first in there before Paul Evans.
They've really put an Iron Curtain defense up as you take a look at the shots on goal, only having 4, none in this period. Jay Wells has had some solid body checks tonight, 3 of the best I've seen this year in the whole league. Cochran had a couple. He was a first-round pick, or first pick of the Kings in 1979.
One of their rare first-round picks. You made an interesting note today how few times that the Kings have actually drafted in the first round through the years. Most of the time they've sent those draft picks away gambling on players, most of whom have not cut the mustard here. Cochran around behind the net, chased in there by J.P. Kelly. Flyers trying to work it out. Evans to the point, kept in, and Jay Wells' shot broken down. Now the Flyers a little helter-skelter in their own zone, and Mark House is enough of that. Brings it coolly up the middle at the Kings line, flips into the left of Lessard, comes out in front. Lessard took a whack at it. The Flyers take it off in front. Oh, it was at the side of the net, and Sittler was held off well by Jay Wells to keep that one from going home. Barber along the left wing board to the point to Cochran. Fans on the shot. The Kings are going to break out, but oh my, it was Gans mishandling the outlet pass at center when they had a 2-on-none and lost the shot. Now Howe goes into the left wing corner. Around behind the net, looks to center. Drops it in the corner to Barber. Barber to that corner. Comes in front, tries to find Sittler again, who is again taken to the ice. This time by rookie Dave Morrison as the Kings dig the puck out of their own zone and have Jay Wells bring it to center ice. Through on the left side to Gans. Right past Howe. Got an open man in front. Centering pass. Blocked by Howe, who incredibly was able to make up that error and is being beat on the turn to cover the puck. He's knocked down in the corner to the right of the goal, but then craftily falls in the puck to make sure it doesn't come out of that corner.
That's what happens when you're blessed with great speed, Gene, and quick reflexes. Howe was beaten to the outside by the young rookie up from Oshawa, and he was able to get back quickly enough to make up for that play and get back and take the puck away from Gans. 12-10 remains, 2-0 Philadelphia in this second period.
Flockhart, Allison, and Prop with Marsh and Dvorak, and out there is Ruskowski with Isaacson and Murphy, and defensively they have Chartraw along with Hardy. Puck taken out in front, backhander. Not much on it by Isaacson. Flyers jammed in along the near side as the Kings getting hitters. Chartraw from the point. It was deflected into the end seats by Terry Ruskowski. And I believe Ruskowski came to Chicago from Winnipeg along with Rich Preston and all of those maneuverings on that re-entry draft when the WHA folded.
Mike Murphy, too, the longest King in terms of service and a former captain. There's one guy you have to watch coming off the right side. He has a very good shot.
Right, Flyers get the draw behind the net. Marsh looks, comes out to the left side, puts it on Prop stick. Prop comes to neutral zone, rink-wide pass, misses Allison, scoots all the way behind the King net. Hardy in there, chased by Allison, who strips him of the puck, but they both overskate, allowing Chartraw to try to play it from behind his net. It bounces off a stick high in the air to center ice, where Hardy into the zone. Down, wind behind the Philadelphia net. In there is Mike Murphy, checks off Marsh, centers the pass in front, but there was Dvorak to clear it away, and they've got a break. Flockhart from Prop in, shot, score!
Boy, what a play by Brian Prop, just hitting that puck perfectly. Marsh did an excellent job in the corner to fight off Mike Murphy and one-hand the puck up to Prop, who had come back to take that pass along the left wing boards. The defenseman out there, Jerry Korab, was caught in tight. They just flipped it through on Flockhart, and he had Lassard going the wrong way, beating him low to the left side of the net. Lassard was moving right, but Flockhart scores to give the Flyers a 3-0 lead on a nice low shot right along the ice.
Prop and Marsh get the assists on Flockhart's 12th goal at 8:36. There's a play in front. Oh, Gortz hit the post on a breakaway. Now it goes back to the point. McCrimmon with a drive. Grabbed high by Lassard, who says enough of this. On the right off the face-off, Gortz was sitting alone on the backhander and banged it off the post. Midway through the second period at the Forum in Inglewood, California. Flyers 3 and the Kings 0.
While most air freight companies spend the day on the ground, racing to pick up small packages so they can deliver them overnight, someone is already delivering them the same day. Eastern Airlines. Eastern Sprint service guarantees you small package delivery to over 90 cities the same day, or you don't pay. The guys who fly by night can't do that. Eastern Sprint, when it definitely, unquestionably has to be there today.
We're back at the Forum in Inglewood, California, as you near the witching hour in the east. Flyers lead 3-0, and on the offensive right circle draw, Taylor out there along with Sinisalo and Gortz, who just 11 seconds after Flockhart had scored, went in and beat Lassard on a backhander, and it just hit the post and trickled out. As the Kings find themselves back by 3, and then up there's a steal by Dion up the middle. Shot right into Lindbergh, and that's the first shot on goal for the Kings in 9 minutes and 10 seconds of play in the second period. Now Philadelphia back. Taylor trying to play through to Sinisalo. Kings break that up, and Korab wraps it around behind the net to defensive partner Lewis. His pass on the far side broken up by the poor checking of Gortz. Now Lewis will be checked behind the net by Mark Taylor to Korab, and quickly up on the left side. The Kings finally get it through to center ice. Bozak to Dion. Over the line, in along the near side. Shot, as Dion says, let me see if I can generate some offense. That's wide, and Philadelphia gets it to Gortz, and he slaps it through to Sinisalo at center. Oh, 3-on-1 over the line. Sinisalo to Taylor. Back to Ilka in front, and Lassard got his right pad out as Ilka tried to jam it from in close.
Beautiful save on the part of Lassard as he went to that butterfly style to stop that. Flyers almost playing a textbook perfect 2-on-1 as they played tic-tac-toe back and forth with each other, and Cinicello was able to pull the trigger. But a nice play on the part of Cinicello and Taylor to set up that shot on goal. They had the defenseman moving back and forth, got him out of position, and then when the low shot by Cinicello, Lassard was able to make the save.
Kings have only lost 3 home games. They lost 8-3 to Minnesota. They lost 5-2 to Buffalo and 5-3 to Hartford. So this has been a good club at home. 8-3-1. Flyers as up on the left side. Warren Holmes shoots it in, blocked off by Howe, and Clark turns. He's got Holmgren open on the right wing into the zone. And can't make a play. Now blocks the puck. Is jammed up in there by the Kings' Charlie Simmer halfway down that offensive right board. And we get a stoppage of play, and we get another final, the last one of the evening.
St. Louis defeated Pittsburgh 5-3. It was 4-2 in the second, so both teams traded goals in the third. 5-3, St. Louis beats Pittsburgh.
So everything is over tonight except our game here in the National Hockey League, and we have to tell you again that the Rangers at the Island shut out New York 3-0, and that's the first time in 6 years or so that New York has lost a home game without a goal. Now the Kings working out of their own zone. They start up the middle. Holmes right side to Jim Fox. Got a half a step on Cochran. Into the corner. Angle shot. Save, and the rebound came off Lindbergh's right pad to Clark, who'll storm back at center ice. Holmgren tries to give him a screen, and Clark overskates. Tries to roll through to Carson. Broken down by Charlie Simmer. Gives it right back to Clark. Through to Holmgren on the offensive side of center. He jams it in, and the Flyers make a quick change. Out comes Marsh and Dvorak and Evans with Barber and Sittler, as Fox on the near side is just pulled down by Barber, and he's going to go off. Billy Barber's going to pick up 2, and let's see what the call is. It's going to be a hold at 10:47. Flyers have 4 of the game's 6 penalties. Third King power play coming up with the score: Philadelphia 3, Los Angeles 0.
Call on Billy Barber at the 10:47 mark. The third Flyer penalty in the third power play for Los Angeles.
Just the second penalty of the year for Barber, giving him 4 minutes in his first trip to the box in 18 games. Flyers win the draw and send it down. McCrimmon out there along with Bathe, and they have Allison on with Evans. With 9 minutes remaining in the second period, Flyers had 2 in the first, 1 in the second, lead 3-0 as Ruskowski threw at the Philadelphia line. Right winging a pass into the corner from Isaacson to Mike Murphy. He goes back to the left point, and Hardy should get a shot. Goes right side to Dion. Left circle. Man there, and lost it. Isaacson now goes behind the net to Ruskowski. Ruskowski goes to the offensive left wing corner. Almost pulled off the puck. Gets it into the slot. Taken off by Bathe, and rolls to the stick of McCrimmon, who gets it to center ice. Now Ulf Isaacson, Isaksson, gets it back to Mark Hardy in the Kings zone. Hardy back at the point with Dion, and up front they have Murphy with Ruskowski. Now, and puck taken away. Flyers make a mistake as they have the puck, and we're going to get another Philadelphia penalty. They had it, they made the bad pass. Dion at the point, shot. They're going to be 2 men short as soon as it's touched up by Paul Evans. There it is. Look like Allison will go off. Clear-cut possession. The Flyers mishandle it, and it results in a 2-man disadvantage. 8:09 remaining second period. 2-man disadvantage coming up with the Flyers leading 3-0.
Here it is, the Knockmobile.
No more knocks, guys. We've got star power.
Texaco Star Power. Extra power when Texaco Super Unleaded helps knock out the knocks.
How's that for safely passing?
Terrific. We just safely passed our exit.
Collect your set of free steak knives. Receive a free steak knife each time you fill up at the full service island of your participating independent Texaco retailer.
56 seconds remain on Barber's holding penalty, and the 2 minutes to Allison here at the 11:51 mark. So the Flyers will have that much time to play, 2 men short.
Bad pickle to get yourself in when you've got that 3-goal lead. Of course, it could be worse. It could be a tie game. Now Bathe really buries Dion Evans in the corner. Dion tries to get it back to the point. It hits Holmes on the skates. To Hardy, to Dion in front. There's a play. Open man. Shot blocked by Marsh, who pulls it under his body. And the Flyers could have picked up another penalty. But Wally Harris looks on impassively.
No, you can't get a penalty on that, Gene, when it goes under your body. You have to grab a hold of it with your hand. Very seldom they'll call that penalty on there, but the play was in the corner. The Kings were moving it around very well, and they had that first shot, and Kelly made the nice save, and it dropped behind, and Marsh had corralled it and then just had it on his body.
All right, we have 37 seconds remaining on the Flyer two-man distributor. Wally Harris went over to the bench to say something to Bob McCammon, who seems irate. And the face-off will be in the defensive left circle of Philadelphia. They have Bathe out with Marsh and Clark, and the Flyers a little upset at something. And the Kings counter with Isaacson on the left, Evans on the right, centered by Holmes, with Hardy at the left point and Dion at the right side. 3-0. Flyers at a two-man disadvantage for another 37. That's the time remaining on Bill Barber's penalty. 1:41 remaining on that to Ray Allison. Penalties in the game, 5 of the 7 to Philadelphia. Kings 0 for 2 on the power play tonight on their third pop. Clark against Holmes, defensive left circle. Major draw now. It's got by Clark. Fights it along the near side. Tries to get it out. Dion does a good job of keeping it in at the point. Left side to Hardy. Man in front. Left circle. There's Isaacson in. Shot right through the goal mouth. Trying to get the tip was Evans, and he couldn't handle it. Dion at the right point, closing right in. Straight away to Hardy. He's going right on in. Shot. Saved by goaltender. And Flyers, Marsh has lost his stick. Then Clark cleared it out. Almost hit the point. 2 men short. 1 man without a stick. There's a drive blocked off by Marsh. Taken off by Bozak. The Wells at the point. Shot. Lindbergh the save. Philadelphia gets a man back in 5 seconds. Extraordinary action. To the point. Closing in is Hardy. Left circle, Isaacson. Block shot. It rolls to the near side. Billy Barber's out. The Flyers short a man. Barber tries to make a play. Isaacson left circle. It's in front. Evans a shot. Save. And in front of the net was Brad Marsh as Lindbergh made a save on glorious action.
Lindbergh has not had much action throughout the game, but he has really played strongly in the nets for Philadelphia in this two-man short situation. 3 big saves as Marsh really knocked down 1 save, and he was all alone as he got the puck over. The Los Angeles Kings Evans took the shot, didn't take time. He had a lot of time. He just shot it right into Evans, and then the other rebound, Pelle Lindbergh was able to move out and take down the angle and just cover up on the short side. But the closest play to a goal was when Bozak just slid it right by the wide post.
While we're getting a breather, let's pause for station identification on the Flyers Hockey Network.
This is WTAF, TV 29 in Philadelphia.
Well, the Kings didn't get their first shot in this period till the 9:10 mark, but they've now had 7 in the last 4 minutes. And 53 seconds remaining on the penalty to Allison as the Kings on their 4th power play. And this is the extension of a back-to-back call and a 2-man disadvantage as Philadelphia has Clark out with Sinisalo and McCrimmon with Bathe. The puck goes back to the point. Korab left side. Larry Murphy trying to draw over Clark does. Fox in front. Turnaround shot. Blocked again. This time by the defenseman on the left side, Brad McCrimmon.
Kings are really hurrying their shots. They haven't had many goals on the power play. Then you start to press, you'll start to hurry. Ruskowski wheeling around and taking that low shot, only he couldn't get it through a fallen Brad McCrimmon.
This is where they missed Dave Taylor and this Bernie Nichols. Flyers trying to work the puck out of the corner. Taken down behind the net by Ruskowski. Goes back to Fox. Fox in the right wing corner at the goal line. To Ruskowski at the side of the net. Had a block with his skate. 30 seconds remaining on the advantage for the Kings. Frank Bathe tying up Ruskowski. Fox gets it back to the right point to Larry Murphy. Cuts to the middle of the ice. Has Fox on the near side. Tries a shot. Wide of the long side with Ruskowski screening in front. Ricochet to Fox along the right wing boards. Goes in the corner. Ruskowski tries to go back to the point, and Larry Murphy can't handle it, and the Flyers has Lassard way out of his net. Howe has a net to shoot at. Didn't see it. Oh, my. And then it was swept off his stick, and Howe just shook his head and said, how did I miss that? 2 seconds. And as the Kings hit the blue line, out of the penalty box comes Allison, and the Flyers survive. 54 seconds, 2 men short, and the other 1:06 on the second penalty short. Puck dumped into their zone. We have 6 minutes remaining second period. 3-0 Philadelphia. Howe fails to come out. Fox takes it away. Into the right corner to Charlie Simmer. Tries to go back to Chartreux at the point. Left point pass taken off by Philadelphia. Now they play through. Flockhart along with Simpson. And boom! On that far side is Philadelphia's Allison dump as the Kings throw it away at center ice. Dvorak has it there. Rolls it in. And Philadelphia with prop Allison and Flockhart out along with Marsh and Dvorak. And the Kings with Hardy back at the point and Chartreux have it at center ice, but a nice check by Allison to Flockhart over the line. Gets inside Mark Hardy. Is grabbed, gets it in the slot to prop. Tries to go to the right side, but Dvorak can't reach it. And it is Dave Gans, the young rookie, who jumps to center for the Kings. Now prop tries to ricochet in. He's buried on a check by Mark Hardy. Here comes Dave Morrison for the Kings over the line. Tries to split the defense. Dvorak blocks him. Marsh takes it away and puts it through to Flockhart at center right. Break wide pass intended for Prop. Getting his stick in the way was Chartreux, and it slides back to center, where Marsh puts it at his own line to Dvorak, up through to Flockhart. He's hit by Mark Hardy as Flockhart intent on looking to puck. Boom! And on the far side, Allison takes a run at Gans and then slashes at him. And I think we're going to have at least a penalty to Allison. At least. And let's see if they both go off. We'll find out with 4:47 remaining, second period at the Forum in Inglewood. Flyers 3 and the Kings nothing.
Born of tradition, nurtured by pride. Budweiser Light, with a clean, distinctive taste. A light beer worthy of the king of beers.
Bring out your best. Bring out your best.
The best never comes easy.
Budweiser Light.
That's why there's nothing else like it.
Budweiser Light.
Well, Los Angeles is on their 4th power play of this period. Number 5 on the game as Allison picks up his 2nd consecutive penalty for slashing at 15-13.
And his 3rd in this period. Flyers now have 6 of the game's 8. Los Angeles has been able to beat Philadelphia tonight, but the Flyers are starting to beat themselves a little bit with inopportune penalties, as they had the game under control 3-0. They still do. But with these ensuing penalties, and Don Perry down below us telling his club, let's get something on the advantage. Flyers giving the Kings a chance to get alive. Let sleeping Kings lie is an old statement in the Hart household. 16,005, a sellout they announce here, as Howe is out with Clark and McCrimmon with Bay, and the Kings counter with Evans, Bozek, and Dion. And at the point, they have Korab left and Larry Murphy right. 4:47 remaining in the period. Flyers have picked up 5 of the 7 in this period and 6 of the game's 8. Korab on the left side puts it on Larry Murphy's stick. 80 points in his rookie year. He was a dandy. Winds it behind Lindbergh. Sets it up quickly for McCrimmon. Slap around to the far side. Clark is there and tips it off through Korab. And then Korab just puts a stick on Clark and he's going to go off. Interference. And that was really a dumb retaliatory penalty by Korab that took a very, very needed power play away from Los Angeles.
Well, they have really, Clark and Korab are having a few words to say now, but all you had to do is really just stand in front of him. When you're that big, you're 6'3", and over 200 pounds, all you got to do is stand in front of a player. You don't have to put your stick out there. All you had to do was stand in front. Clark wouldn't have been able to get to the loose puck, and the other team would have been able to pick it up. Not a very smart play on the part of Korab, as you mentioned, Gene. Takes away that power play opportunity.
Comes at 15:33, so they'll play 5 aside for 1:40 if there are no further penalties. Then the Flyers will have a short-lived power play of their own. They've only had 1 tonight, and the Kings have had 5, and the last one short-circuited by Korab's mistake. We'll be in Vancouver tomorrow night on the radio and television network at 7. Vancouver time, of course, 10 o'clock back east.
And you can get tickets for the Russian game on January 6th. They went on sale today. It's the first day of the Christmas shopping, and they'd make excellent Christmas stocking stuffers, so you can still pick them up. January 6th is the game.
All right, they're playing 5 aside. Murphy back. And there's a give and go, but Dvorak read it. Made sure Wells didn't break into the zone with the puck controlled at center ice by the Kings. On a near side pass, Dion drops it up, and they've got a 2-on-1. Larry Murphy right side to Bozak. Drive blocked again by Dvorak as Miroslav is starting to pick up skills. Flyers give it away into the slot. Wells a shot, and Lindbergh grabs that up the middle, and Bobby Taylor just grabbed his head, and you just don't do that.
And a veteran, Billy Barber, had the puck under full control and just threw it out blindly in the slot area where the LA Kings were able to pick it off, and you just don't do that. You don't expect that from a veteran rather. Barber's upset with himself. He knows he makes the bad play, but Lindbergh made the save and hung on to it. Kings were trying to get that puck up now because the Flyers have really slid and blocked a lot of low shots. When that happens, those quick hands of Pelle Lindbergh come into play then.
Holmes out with Fox and Wells with Larry Murphy. Philadelphia now. Howe breaks out along with Prop. Through to the Propper, goes in on the left-handed backhander, and it's grabbed in the 5-hole of goaltender Lazard as Prop is taken behind the net, cleared out of the way by Larry Murphy.
Larry Murphy was a really strong offensive player for the Los Angeles Kings over the last couple of years, and He was their candidate for Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. Scored an awful lot of points, and now they've been really trying to work on his defensive end of the game, and he's played very soundly back there for them tonight.
Had 142 points in 2 seasons coming into this year. That was Van Imp's entire lifetime output, including junior, biddy, and bantam.
Be careful, he's listening.
That's why I said it. I'm on the other coast. All right, Philadelphia harassing, prop out with Flockhart. They're playing 5 aside for another 45 seconds. Allison will come back. Philadelphia will have a 20-second power play in their own zone. Trying to, King's a little jittery now. Philadelphia, Cochran and Howe and Flockhart on with prop as Jim Fox goes cross to his own left wing circle, and Jay Wells gets it to center, but Holmes has it tapped off a stick back in his own zone by Howe. That catches both Flockhart and Prop offside. 27 seconds remaining on the penalty to Philadelphia's Allison. 47 to Jerry Korab. 3-0 Philadelphia. 3:14 remaining second period. Howe and Carson in the first, Flockhart in the second.
Again, you have to point out the injuries that Coach Don Perry has had here with the Los Angeles Kings, and a lot of them are good goal scorers. Dave Taylor and Bernie Nichols. Nichols the latest to go down with a bad knee, and when you take a lot of firepower out of the lineup with a team that doesn't have as great a depth as, let's say, an Islander team or a Montreal Canadian team, it hurts them offensively, which we've seen here tonight.
Out there is Ruskowski along with Mike Murphy. And they have Chartraw back with Wells, and Philadelphia gets the draw. McCrimmon out with Bay. Then up front they have Sittler with Barber. They go left side to Bay. At the King line. Tries to deke around Chartraw, and that extra stride to go to the deke catches Sittler off stride.
I've always been curious about players that do that. They're going to dump it in anyway. Why do you make that little extra move? Why don't you just make the original move so you don't throw that breaking forward off coming in on the offside?
My radio guest between the second and third period will be Roger Nielsen. Flew down from Vancouver after his tie last night.
Just to be on your show.
Jersey Devils, right? And also get a chance to look at Flyers. Now there's a drive from the point. Left side by Mike Murphy. Kelly Lindbergh knocks that down, and Philadelphia trying to come out. McCrimmon was hooked from behind by Murphy. The Flyers get it up to Barber at the Los Angeles line. Swings left, has a shot smothered nicely by Chartraw. Rolls into the near corner of the King zone. Flight by Philadelphia, Sittler and Barber. Philadelphia now has got a man back. They're on the power play for another 10 seconds. We're going to get the stoppage of play with 7 seconds left on the Korab penalty. 2:34 remaining in the second period. Flyers will get that one gas power play opportunity from the offensive left circle.
That's really misleading, but it is a power play when you only have about 10 or 15 seconds on it. As Korab is waiting to come out, he has 7 seconds remaining on that hooking call he picked up at 15:33. Billy Barber is using a new stick here tonight, Gene. He's got an aluminum shaft stick. Brad Park used it all last year, and Barber's trying it out now because the Flyers have said they've got bad wood using their sticks, and they've broken a lot, which you've pointed out over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So they're going to try and go to aluminum shafts. I think Bobby Clark will be the next one to really try it.
Clark, Holmgren, Carson with Howe and Cochran. Flyers have to be aware that Korab will come out behind them. They go to the left board. Cochran has shot that smothered. Carson was knocked down from behind. Fights for it in the offensive corner. The penalty is over. Korab is out. Holmgren battling in that corner. Nice move, and boom, we're going to have another Flyer penalty. As we have 2:20 left, they pull the goaltender out. Here comes Mike Murphy into the zone, loses the puck, and now we get the call. And the Flyers have just really done so many foolish penalties in this period. It gives them now 7 in this period alone. 2:15 left. It looks like who? Carson or Holmgren? Lindsey Carson will go off.
For tripping, Gene. And what they've gotten a lot of penalties, bad penalties. Tripping, holding, hooking, holding. Those are the lazy man's penalties, and those are the penalties that you don't like to see. And that'll give L.A. a 5th power play in this period alone. They're 6th of the year, or pardon me, 6th of the game. And it's bad penalties. If it was charging or roughing, something like that, you could probably accept it. But these are lazy penalties. Hooking, holding, and tripping.
This is the 4th power play that they've had since the 10:47 mark. So if you count 8 minutes, it means 8 of the last 9.5 minutes of this period, the Flyers will be shorthanded. Now that goes to Dion, and sooner or later, there's a shot right through Lindbergh, high over his shoulder to the left side. Bozak back to the point. Korab drive. That was tipped wide to the near corner. Bathe is checked off. He's grabbed by Evans, allowing the Kings to take the puck back to the right point. Drive by Dion wide. It hits the back of the net. Sits on the twine. Is broken free by Darrell Evans as play continues in the final 2 minutes of the period. Korab from the point. Hit the outside of the net to the right of Lindbergh. And finally, Philadelphia's Howe will come out along with Clark 2-on-2 against Dion. Over the line. Howe fights past Dion into the left wing corner. Loses the shot. Now has to tie it up, hoping to kill some time. Takes it behind the net. Jabbed up by the Kings, and we get a stoppage of play, so the Flyers lose the shot but get the offensive left circle draw with a minute 18 remaining on the penalty to Carson. 1:33 remaining, second period. 3-0 Philadelphia.
Boy, that speed of Howe sure opens things up. They start that backpedaling. Korab got a good shot away that hit a nice low that had Billy Lindbergh beaten, but it hit the outside of the net, and the twine bulged, and people on our side here thought that it was in on the short side, but it wasn't. Minute 33 left in this second period, 3-0 Philadelphia.
Evans and Barber out with Marsh and McCrimmon. That's Flyers' Paul Evans, and out for the Kings they have Holmes on with Darrell Evans and Bozak, and Dion at the right point with Korab. Face off in the King zone. Back along the near side, Barber will play back to Marsh at center ice. Works away from Darrell Evans, is tied up at center. Rolls it weakly into the zone. Korab cuts it off. Back passes to Bozak. He overskates the puck, and then Barber in the zone. Going to go to the left circle, has nowhere to go, and just turns back at center ice. Turns again at the Kings line. Tries to play to the left side to Paul Evans, but Paul broke the other way. Still is able to keep it into the zone along the near side, and finally dug out by Darrell Evans to Korab, and up on the left wing, here comes Los Angeles. They rip it past to Borjak. Bozak goes behind the net with Holmes. Marsh just breaks it free from the check to Billy Barber, and he bounces it through to center ice. 40 seconds on the Kings' advantage. 55 left in the period. Now over the line, top of the right circle. Evans with a drive. Kick save. And that was really with some mustard on it. Flyers along their defensive left wing side get it, and Marsh just rifles it down the ice. Kings have only had 4 shots through 10 minutes of this period. Have had 10 in the last 10. Flyers get a man back in 20 seconds. 34 seconds left in the period. Simmer at the Flyer line. Flips into the left of Lindbergh. In there is Fox. Takes it behind the net. Howe won't let him center. And the Flyers will dig it up on the left side and send it through to center ice. Boom. Down falls Dion, and Howe will chase him along the near side. Cuts inside the check at the Flyer line. Penalty over in 3 seconds. Puck in the zone. Cleared back to Fox. The penalty is over. Ruskowski tries to put it cross ice. There's a poke at it. by Wells goes behind the net. The Kings take it out. Angle shot by Dion. Ricochets back to the point. One quick shot with the time remaining. They're not going to get it away. The second period comes to a close in a series of Flyer penalties and Kings aboard of power play attempts. Coming up during intermission, on the TV side, you're going to get a look at the Maine Mariners in action, plus a feature on the NHL. Then I'll be on the radio side with Vancouver coach Roger Nielsen. And later on, the Chief and I will be back to analyze this middle period. That ends with the score: Philadelphia 3, Los Angeles nothing, as our intermission activities continue after this.
Back here in Los Angeles, Bobby Taylor along with Gene Hart. Flyers lead the Kings 3-0. The Kings are out here for the start of this third period. The Flyers have yet to make an appearance. In the National Hockey League today and tonight, Boston defeated Hartford 8-0 this afternoon. Chicago beat Quebec right in Quebec City 3-1. Detroit tied the Canadiens right in Montreal 5-5. And the big one, the New York Rangers shut out the New York Islanders at the Island 3-0. Winnipeg beat Toronto in Toronto 6-3. New Jersey ended a non-winning streak as they won their first road game of the year, beating the Calgary Flames in Calgary 4-3. And the St. Louis Blues defeated the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-3 in St. Louis. You're mentioning, Gene, that probably Bob McCammon was giving the Flyers a little extra, possibly tongue lashing over all the penalties that they picked up in that second period and all the power plays that they gave Los Angeles, 5 to be exact, in that second period. And that's an awful lot of power plays, and you can get any team on track offensively if you're giving them that many chances. But I'm sure you're going to see the Flyers cut down on the cheap penalties, and they've had an awful lot of them. The only what you'd call a tough penalty was when Allison and Bozak picked up roughing minors. They picked up holding and hooking calls, with one trip by Lindsey Carson later in the second period.
I'll tell you this, Roger Nielsen didn't say it, but I'm sure he was thinking, give my club 6 power plays in 2 periods, we're going to beat your brains out. He's a delightful man because he's so amour to this game, and he gives you honest answers. Philadelphia has Lindbergh to the left, Los Angeles Lessard in the goal right. Flyers start Carson, Holmgren, and Clark, along with Howe and Cochran. And the Kings go with Chartrand and Hardy. And up front, they've got Dion, along with Bozak and Evans. And as Clark tries to penetrate the right wing on the face-off offside Philadelphia.
Hardy was one of those draft picks right around the same time that Jay Wells was picked. In fact, the same year. Two young defensemen that they pinned a lot of hopes on.
Puck won at center ice by Cochran. Drives in on Lessard. Steers off to his left, right to Clark. Angle shot save. Right back into that same position to Carson. Clark in the corner. He's tied up. The puck hits Wally Harris. Jammed up in the Flyers' offensive left corner. Clark is grabbed, and Lessard slides way out to his right. Doesn't handle the puck, but gets a break. As up ice comes Mark Hardy through at the Philadelphia line, looking for Darrell Evans. It rolls into the corner. Lindbergh winds it around to the far side. In there is Cochran. Jams up Dion, and that allows Clark to play it cross ice to the Flyer defensive right side, and Carson drills it into center. Back gets too much steam on it, rolls it all the way down over the King goal line, and Chartrand, a foot race, beats Holmgren to it, and we have icing Philadelphia. 49 seconds gone into the third period, and it is 3-0 Philadelphia.
Flyers, of course, will have to really take a watch or look out for those penalties, but you don't want them to play too cautiously either. You have to keep them going after that puck, getting to it first and jumping on it inside the Los Angeles zone. When they're full strength, that proves to be very successful, and they've kept the puck inside LA zone all the time.
Holmes, Simmer, and Fox out there against Barber, Sidler, and Evans, Marsh, and Dvorak. Defensive right circle. Philadelphia, the draw back to Simmer at the point, and Karams threw him into center ice. Dvorak tries to put pressure on Dave Lewis, who's out with Korav. As the Kings shoot it in, Dvorak breaks it up, doesn't allow Holmes to make a play, and it's cleared by Sittler through Korav down that left wing side into the Los Angeles end. Dave Lewis collars it behind the net, swings out to the left, up the middle to Simmer. Curls and starts through into the neutral zone with Ruskowski on his right. Into the zone, pass to Dvorak right in front. Backhander just wide of Lindbergh's right skate and jams up against the net for the stoppage of play. And Simmer doesn't have that kind of speed that he should break the defense.
That's when you're playing cautiously, you'll back up a little bit more. You'll back up a little longer. And I'll tell you, that's one thing you got to take away and watch out for that to keep backing up and giving those players the blue line. I know you're very aware of what the score is and the situation, but you can't play too defensively.
All right, Warren Holmes with Jim Fox. For those of you Philadelphia baseball fans of the past, this is a single X, not double X Fox. Kings flip it in. Dvorak knocks it down, goes behind the net, wraps it up on the far side. Fox reads it into the left circle to the side of the net, bounces off Brad Marsh, who was just off to the left side of the Philadelphia cage, drops to the feet of Lindbergh, who eats that up, and we'll have a defensive left circle face-off Philadelphia.
No relation to Nellie Fox either, Gene.
No?
You're dating yourself when you say Jimmy Fox.
Well, I'm not afraid of age, but it's the good-looking ones like you that see the wrinkles and panic. Draw back to Fox to the point. Korav, a shot never reaches the net. Frank Bathe digs it out of the corner, rolls it up to Flockhart. Or to Prop was a little sluggish, and then Bathe on the second try gets it into the neutral zone. Flyers reaching a little bit now. So as Bobby said, playing a step cautious, but that's, oh, Lindbergh gives it away, Simmer in front, and Lindbergh goes from right to left and erases his own error.
Miscommunication between Lindbergh and Brad McCrimmon. McCrimmon thought Lindbergh was going to shoot it back along the corner, and Lindbergh thought McCrimmon was going to just come back and pick it up. Neither one did, and Charlie Simmer was allowed to come in there and try a stuffer. 3-0. Philadelphia leads. 18:09 remains in this final period.
Flyers once led in shots 18-5. It is now 23-17. And those power play opportunities, the host of them, really did the damage and turned the game around, at least not on the scoreboard, I mean, but at least in the flow of play. 3-0 still Philadelphia. Kings just throw it away at center, and it skips past McCrimmon, and he's in a foot race with Ruskowski in the Flyers' defensive right side. In there, Isaacson as well, and sliding on the puck is McCrimmon to make sure nothing comes of that. Again, a defensive right circle face-off. Puck in the Flyers' zone most of this third period. 2:08 gone. 3-0 Philadelphia.
Talked to Jerry Cheevers when Boston was in town, Gene, and he said that when McCrimmon played junior, he was a real take-charge leader type, but playing with Bork, all he had to do was take the easy thing out and pass it over to Bork, and sometimes you get caught up in that. And he feels that with Philadelphia and playing with Frank Bathe, he'll take more and more charge out there and carry the puck more.
Puck on the near side. Howe wipes it around to the far side, and it was tipped by Sinisalo through Larry Murphy into the Kings end. Wells rolls it up, gets a return pass, starts through left side to Isaacson, gets inside Howe, loses the puck, shovels it nonetheless in on the net with a one-hander. The puck behind, in front again, as Isaacson made an excellent play, but the Flyers get it up at center to Sinisalo. He's run into by Ruskowski. Now Taylor follows up for Philadelphia, stolen away by the Kings' Mike Murphy. Into the zone for Erickson, to Murphy, back in front, stolen away by Philadelphia's Mark Taylor. Tries to send it away to Sinisalo at center ice. The Flyers really skating through molasses in the early portion of this period. Now Mark Hardy tries to play into the zone, and Philadelphia just breaks that up. Taylor on with Gorence and Sinisalo. Flyers want to make a line change, and they get Gorence off and Holmgren on. And the Kings accommodate now by icing the puck and allowing Philadelphia to make that line change at leisure. 16:56 remaining in the game from the Forum in Inglewood, California. Flyers 3, the Kings nothing.
It's not just a race. It's a game. If they think I'm tired, maybe they'll make their move.
Bring out your best.
Then I'll make mine.
Bring out your best. Budweiser Light. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it.
Budweiser Light.
16:56 remains in the third period. Flyers up 3-0 over LA.
Offensive right circle draw. Clark, Carson, Holmgren, along with Marsh and Dvorak. Draw won by Danny Gans at the side of the King net, taken behind by Mark Hardy. Wraps it up looking for Dave Morrison on the far side. He occupies Marsh as the puck slips through and rolls into the Philadelphia zone, where it's driven to Clark by Holmgren at center, and then Clark's pass through to Carson at the King line is ripped cross ice by Lindsay, but Morrison will take it and start up on the right wing at center ice. Check from behind, loses the puck. Holmgren gets it to Clark, gets a return pass, turns at his own line and leaves it for Marsh. Marsh up on the right side at center, gets at the red line, lifts it in, but it hits Chartcraw and is able to be covered by J.P. Kelly, who sends it through on the right wing at center ice. Morrison lifts it up in the air. It bounces at the Flyer line into the zone and rolled behind the net into the offensive left wing corner. Dave Gans works that out there, looks to center, blocked off, gets it again, rolls it to the side of the net. Shot blocked. Kelly shot blocked by Dvorak. Kings in front, nobody there except Marsh. Sets it up through to Clark O'Storm at center ice. Now the Flyers make a line change as Clark goes into the zone, fires it wide of Lassard. And ever since the 10-minute mark, boy, I tell you, when all those penalties started, the Flyers have lost all their offense. They haven't had many shots and opportunities, but they tenaciously cling to that 3-0 lead with 15:51 remaining in the game.
They're playing a lot more cautiously right now. I'm sure McCammon did have something to say to them about the amount of penalties, and they lost their offense mainly because they were playing shorthanded much of that second period, but they still are playing very cautiously here, making sure they have 2 men back.
Evans, Barber along with Sittler. And here comes Darrell Evans. Gets right past Bathe, and then he kicks, does Evans, the puck behind the net and lost his breakaway. They come to the side. Point pass to Dave Lewis. Shot blocked by the diving form of Paul Evans, and Sittler carried through at center ice. Weak pass. Doesn't hit Barber. Hits Korab at the King line, and then he fans. But Evans goes down. Philadelphia's call. And as Korab comes to center and tries to hit the breaking winger, Philadelphia breaks it up and gives it back to the King line. You get that kind of helter-skelter play now where somebody's going to make a mistake one way or another. It's going to result in a goal. There's the play into Evans, and as Bathe brings the puck over the line with Barber, we have an offside. 4:48 gone, scoreless third period, 3-0 Philadelphia. Chief and I will move north to Vancouver, where we'll be bringing you tomorrow night's Vancouver Flyer game on the radio and television network at 10.
Well, I'll tell you, Frank Bathe had a gleam in his eyes. He had very few chances to be walking in all alone on a goaltender, but Barber was way in over the blue line before he was able to pick up the puck.
Now we've got Flockhart winning the draw. Just moves past Dave Lewis. Gets it back to the left point on the carom to Cochran. Drive, and he shanked it as it bounced on him. And here comes Dion up the middle. With Bozak on his left, he's going to get a shot from the left circle. And I think Lindbergh got the toe of his right skate on it, the deflected wide. And then it comes through to Prop on the rebound at center ice along the right wing. Tapped off his stick by Captain Mike Murphy of the Kings and sent through to center ice, where Prop takes it off and just whistles it by the right ear of Wally Harris, the referee, behind the Los Angeles net. Up on the near side, Flockhart is grabbed by Charlie Simmer, and the Kings just roll it to center ice. Warren Holmes will chase Prop in deep, but he goes left side in the neutral zone for Cochran, and up through to Flockhart. and lifts it past Allison as the two just skated to avoid their own collision. Then the Flyers dump it in. Block hard, and then Prop had a chance in front. They lost it, and out breaks Simmer at center ice, going against the Dvorak. Rink-wide pass, misfires from Jim Fox behind the net. Fox is tied up by Marsh. The Flyers just poke it loose and get it up on the near side to Dvorak and through past Mark Taylor of the Flyers to center ice. There is Larry Murphy mishandling the puck in his own zone for the Kings. Gets it to Jimmy Fox. Off to Lewis, and up the middle the Kings come on the left wing. Warren home. Winds it around behind Lindbergh. It comes off the side on an angle. The Flyers get a break as it goes behind instead of in front. And on the far side, the Kings again mishandle the puck as neither team can get a grip on that elusive 5.5-ounce rubber disc right now. Given away at center by Los Angeles, tapped by Philadelphia's Dvorak into the Los Angeles zone, where Chartrand right wings it. They try to go through to Holmes. Broken down by the Flyers. It's broken in down in front. They poke at it. Clears off a skate. Kept in the zone. And finally, it's dumped to center by Sinisalo. Now the Kings roll it right back in. Taken off by Marsh. Looks for an opening. Fires it on the carom off his own right wing. Boards past Gorence to center ice. Gorence on with Sinisalo and Mark Taylor. And the Kings go with Ruskowski, Eric Isaacson, and Mike Murphy. Now Sinisalo at 7 drops the pass for Dvorak over the red line, rolls it off the King's skate. Well, I'll tell you, just smell it, Bobby. Wait, it's just helter-skelter. All of a sudden, some guy's going to find the puck bouncing on a breakaway. Hello, here I come. As the Kings now work it out of their own zone. Mark Hardy swings past the check of Clark, swings back to his left, swings to his right, and rolls it into the Flyers zone, and the all chases it, bounce it around behind Lindbergh into the Flyers defensive right wing corner. Checked by Ruskowski is returned by Holmgren in the Flyers defensive right corner. We get a stoppage of play with 12:41 remaining in the game from the Forum in Inglewood, California. Flyers 3, the Kings nothing.
When you're working outside and using a metal ladder, it's not enough to watch what you're doing. You've got to look all around for power lines and stay clear of possible contact. So often people are concentrating on their work and fail to notice power lines near them. And accidents happen this quickly. Don't put your life on the line.
Face off outside the Flyers zone because the Kings defenseman came in past the top of the circle.
In the neutral zone, Kings shoot it in, blocked off on the near side by McCrimmon and just lifts it in center ice off the left wing boards, and it slides into the Kings zone to their own right wing circle. Taken behind the net and sent up smartly to center ice. To Ruskowski by Dave Lewis. Left winging to Mike Murphy. Long drive from out on the right side is wide. Lewis takes the carom, gets it into McCrimmon. He's checked, knocked off the puck. The Kings aggressive now. They have to be. Murphy goes back to the point. Shot on the net, deflected away from Lindbergh by Babe into the Flyers defensive left wing corner. Two Flyers there. The Kings come out with the puck. Angle shot. Wide of the net, ricochets to Dave Lewis at the left point. Behind the net, blocked off by Ruskowski. Tries to center. Cut off by Clark. And the Flyers are hemmed in right now as the Kings working diligently along the left wing, try to put it in on net. And it's taken away and iced by Philadelphia's Holmgren. And that's what the call will be as Korab catches up. 11:48 remaining in the game from the Forum in California. Flyers 3 and Kings nothing.
Introducing the totally new 1983 Toyota Tercel. Its front-wheel drive is only the tip of the iceberg. This Tercel is the lowest-priced Toyota you can buy. It has more room than any other subcompact and gives you more mileage than ever before. The new Toyota Tercel. It's a new standard in front-wheel drive, but that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Tercel!
LA out shooting Philadelphia 4-2 here in the third period.
Now, I agree with you, Bobby. They're playing more cautiously, but you should have a little more offense. Flyers have not been able to get much offense rolling or even semblance since midway through the second period when they picked up 5 penalties in the last 10 minutes of play in that period and were shorthanded on 4 different occasions, once by 2 men. Kings are 0 for 6 on the power play. Best Philadelphia effort of the year in defending against the man advantage. Flyers, meanwhile, have had but 1 and misfired on that. Sittler will take the defensive right circle draw. Won by Gans to the point. Evans goes right side. Larry Murphy shot blocked down by Philadelphia's Barber. Set by Gorance on his own carom past Murphy. Down that left wing side. Man falls. Howe up the middle. And he slides as the Kings dig it out. Try to roll it up the middle. Barber in front. And he's knocked down by Larry Murphy. As the Flyers then had a couple of chances. The Kings working up the middle. Gans coming. Working. He's got a man on the near side. Kelly going right on in. And Mark Howe was able to just deflect the puck, take it himself, and send it to Gorance at center ice. 3-on-2. Into the zone. Gets his own carom. Left wing to Sinisalo. Off his skate. Tries to center it. Off the stick of Gorance behind the net, where it's controlled by Mark Hardy. Hardy on the defense with Larry Murphy. Now J.P. Kelly right wings it at center ice. It's behind Dave Morrison, as Don Perry has stayed pretty well with his lines tonight, despite the lacks the Kings' ineffective offense. He has not juggled lines to get some help. On that far side, Gans couldn't get the puck out of the skates of the linesman. They finally work it in, back to the point, and all Philadelphia's prop who's out there now, along with Flockhart, and Gorance is able to shoot it out, and the Kings shoot it back in offside. Very scrambly as we're midway through the third period. 10:36 left. 3-0 Philadelphia.
It's a big, close checking game, Gene. In fact, the Flyers have really stuck on Los Angeles. So when you get a real tight checking game, you're going to have a lot of play at center ice. Players are really sticking close to their checks.
Well, Arizona State, who had a chance to go to the Rose Bowl as the Pac-10 representative, were blitzed tonight by their state rival Arizona. The score 28-18. I don't know what that does to the Rose Bowl. Oh, that puts UCLA in the Rose Bowl. So the Washington Huskies and the Arizona State, who are they, the Sun Devils? They're done. Puck behind the Kings net. On the far side, they roll it out at center. Nice trap. And here comes Bozak up with Dion. Dropped. Oh, look, he's in. And diving play by Dvorak. As, boy, when you give Dion a between the circles drive, that's dangerous. But Dvorak plucked it off out of the rink with 10:16 remaining in the game. 3-0 Philadelphia.
You want something better, healthy food is on your mind. Wendy's does it better. That's why you're Wendy's kind of people. You'll find our salad bar deliciously complete. 12 garden fresh ingredients, yeah. All you can eat. That's why you're Wendy's kind of people. You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
Well, with that football score announced, Gene, it's one of the few times the crowd here at the Forum has been able to cheer tonight.
You know, I had forgotten about the home team, UCLA here at the USC, but it also might be an interesting note that this year, for the first time, the UCLA Bruins got out of the Coliseum and used the Pasadena Rose Bowl as their home field.
They also have a South Jersey player on the UCLA team, Gene, an offensive tackle from down around Frank DiVincente's way, our director. Went to Delsey by the name of Frank, or Dave Barron, not Frank Barron.
Right, or Marco. Flyers, who have been penned into their own end, have the puck taken by the Kings, dumped offensive left wing corner. Good check on there on Deverell Evans, but Dion digs it out. He's out to the near side, tries a pass, smothered in Philadelphia, just slides at the center. Boy, I tell you, the Kings are very tenacious now in puck control, working it up on the near side. They've only got 10 minutes left. They're back by 3. Up the middle, it's lifted by Boner in on Lindbergh, one of those little short hop plays. Flyers make it and drill it out the center ice off the stick of Hardy, and it's controlled in his own end by Chartreux. Pivots off to his right. Puts it onto the stick of Roskowski. Back into the Kings zone to Hardy. Off right side and up ice come the Kings. They play through up the middle. There's Evans with a long shot. Blocked again by Philadelphia. Centering pass off a skate. Driven in on the net. Short side on a turnaround from the right circle by Evans. Boy, the Flyers are really hanging now as the Kings get the puck in front. It's broken down. A shot. What a save by Lindbergh as Darrell Evans actually picked that out of the air somewhere, Bobby, between his waist and his knee and got it right on. Flyers drive it down the ice, and we're going to be whistled for icing as the Kings now trailing in shots at one time 18-5 and now made it 23-21 Philadelphia.
Evans has had about 3 or 4 excellent opportunities for Los Angeles. That's Darrell Evans. And Lindbergh's been able to beat him every time. This time the puck almost got by him. As he went to his knees, it was the trailing skate. Was able to get it and knock it away, but Darrell Evans slapped it right out of midair, just like a baseball, a low curveball, and only Pelle Lindbergh was stronger.
Defensive right circle face-off. Philadelphia's Clark out there with Holmgren and Carson. Back to Simmer. Into the slot to Korab. Left side to Dave Lewis. Off Lindbergh, way up in the air behind the net. And the Kings are just really dominating the game, and the Flyers got to get something going as they have McCrimmon say, let's take a breather. I fall on the puck. We'll try that defensive right circle again.
Gene, this game really reminds me of the one played in Winnipeg where the Flyers really dominated the Jets for 2 periods, took the 3-2 lead, and then just played defensively as Brad McCrimmon there jumped on it with his hand. That could have been closing your hand on the puck as opposed to what Brad Marshall had in the second period.
Clark, Carson, and Holmgren with Bathe and McCrimmon, and the Kings counter with Holmes, Simmer, and Fox. Defensively, Korab with Lewis, but they're playing every man up. They have to score goals. They can't. They've got to gamble on every play. Puck dropped, back to the point, and as Simmer tried to get it to Korab, his stick was hooked by Holmgren, and the pass splits the defense and goes all the way back into the LA end. Dave Lewis on the left side to Charlie Simmer. Right wing pass blocked by the skate of Jim Fox, and then pivots and he rolls it down behind the Philadelphia net. Set up there for Philadelphia by Lindbergh. They try to come out along their own right wing side. They can't. Clark in the near corner trying to dig it out. It goes back to the point, and Korab can't control to keep it in, and now has to rag back in the neutral zone for his line to clear. Boom, a double team check on Dave Lewis, and he in turn tries to fall on the puck and does so successfully at center ice to get a stoppage of play. Well, the shots are almost even, so it's been almost 2 halves of a game, although the Flyers have all the goals at 3-0.
Well, you know, you get tickets for Thursday, December 9th when the Quebec Nordiques are in town, and that's the first time the Flyers come back off this extended road trip. You can get them at the Spectrum box office, all the Ticketron outlets, or the showcases at the Court in King of Prussia and the Deptford Mall.
Barber, Gorns, and Sittler out. Philadelphia defense somehow. They've got a breaking man through, and there was Murphy. And we're going to have a delay offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. And the Flyers come back. Barber dumps offensive right wing corner. Flyers have very little control in penning the Kings in their own zone in this period, and it's been one flip in and out they come. Now they look for a breaking Isaacson. Nowhere to go. They fire in and they all chase to the left of Lindbergh. Now it's fed by Cochran to Barber, and he just slides out of his left wing board down the ice. The puck, as they would say in Pennsylvania Dutch, he slides down the ice to puck.
Flyers are only sending in 1 forechecker, Gene. That's why the Kings are able to come out a lot easier.
Along the near side, here comes Mike Murphy. Again, they dump in, and they'll all chase. Wiskowski goes with Barber behind the net, tries to work the puck free. Isaacson takes it, has it deflect off a body. Boom, protected on the near side by the Flyers, and Mark Howe goes in as the centering pass on the net, taken off by Cochran, but then he's checked off behind the net by Mike Murphy. Flyers roll it back to the point. The Kings keep it in. Ruskowski, along with Isaacson in the offensive left corner of the Kings, goes to Cochran. He wraps it around to the right point. Larry Murphy in, drive on the net, blocked in front by Cochran, and he finally slides it up at center into the neutral zone. With 7:10 left in this cat-and-mouse game as the Kings continue to come at Philadelphia, and the Kings say the Flyers hold them off. A bouncing puck right through Lindbergh in front. But the Kings changing on the go are unable to take advantage as the clearing pass all the way down goes in on Lassard. Less than 7 minutes remaining in the game. 3-0 Philadelphia. As Gans with the puck behind the net. Works past Allison, but can't get past Dvorak as the puck to the blue line. Right in on the net. And there was Lassard out of position. It was blocked in front by Chartrand. It looked like Ilka Sinisalo had an open cage, but it was swept away by the Kings. They try once to come out and can't, and then Gans has to go back to Chartrand on his own end. Trying to play past Mark Taylor can't. Clearing pass picked off by Sinisalo and sent back behind the Los Angeles net. Now trying again, Mark Hardy. Can't get out past the check of Sinisalo as he goes in deep with Allison. Kings finally get it up on the left wing at center ice to J.P. Kelly. Through into the Philadelphia zone and right back out by Dvorak. Now Kelly comes up the middle, penetrates offside as to his right was Dave Gans in a stride too soon. 6:11 remaining in the game at the Forum in Inglewood, California. Flyers leading 3-0.
You have 25 seconds to write down this toll-free number. Call it and find out about Delaware Cash Reserve. Find out for yourself how you can earn high money market dividends, compounded daily, with as little as $1,000 in an investment so liquid you can elect to write checks on it. Dial 1-800-523-4640. 523-4640. Delaware Cash Reserve, the money market fund from the Delaware Group.
Doing it up again.
6:11 remains in the third period. Flyers up by 3-0, as we've had some stuff thrown on the ice in front of the Los Angeles Kings goal. In fact, way out between the top of the circles and the blue line, and they're going to have to wait for somebody to come out with a scraper and scrape it off.
You know, maybe there's a purgatory for people who do that. It means when they go to the Netherlands, they're tied up against the wall, and athletes for the next million years throw garbage at them.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
I had a letter the other day, and perhaps you could answer where Bob McCammon got the nickname Cage.
Cagey.
Cagey.
And it was given to him by Sudsy Settlemeyer.
Okay, while we had that brief explanation, we'll pause for station identification on the Flyers Hockey Network.
This is WTAF, TV 29 in Philadelphia.
And Sudsy would always say that he was a cagey mentor, or pulling some cagey moves out there, so it just sort of stuck.
I guess he's happy they didn't call him mentor. Well, the Flyers have only had 2 shots in this period, and the Kings have had 7, and it's 23-22. So it's funny, the game turned around at the halfway point of the game. The Kings got their first shot of the second period. It had 5 for the game. The Flyers had 18. And through the next, 10 minutes and 14 minutes, next 24 minutes of the game, the Kings have outshot Philadelphia 17-5.
And they also had 4 power play opportunities to increase that penalty shot total.
In that second. But of course, the Flyers have kept away from the penalty in this third period. There have been none called. 10 in the game, 7 to Philadelphia. Flyers McCrimmon whips it up the prop, and he lets it slide all the way down, but Korev had a play, so action will go on as Lazard goes off to his right, blocks it off to the near side to Lewis. Karams had passed the forechecking of Gorant, who's out there along with Flockhart and Prop, and the Kings will have to try the other way. Dion is out along with Bozak and Evans as the Kings throw it away at center, and Frank Bathe run into by Dion. Dion and Evans go at one another, or Bathe, but that was a mile set to, and Wally Harris chose to overlook it as here comes Korab into the zone, tried a little reverse pass, and Philadelphia works it back at center. Lewis takes off Flockhart, puck loose in the neutral zone, played off to Darrell Evans over the line on that right side, up the middle, tries to roll through for Dion. It goes in on net instead, and it's played off by Lindbergh to the near side and to Gorant, who tries to slide it out, can't, and then it's followed up by McCrimmon. And as he headmans Prop at the Philadelphia or the Kings line, we get a break by Bozak up the middle. He's fed off to his right centers. Flyers take it off and shoot it, bounce it all the way down. It'll roll to the goal line, and they're going to get a break as the ice a little bit slow, and it doesn't go over, and play continues. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the game, and it is 3-0 Philadelphia as Jim Fox at center is stopped by Cochran. Puck kicked free, and in nobody's possession, rolls into the zone. Kings have a 2-on-1, but Howe broke it up as unable to get it in front for Simmer was Roskowski as the puck goes to the blue line, taken by Clark and sent off the glass down that left wing side into the Los Angeles end. Now the Kings will try again. Right winging a pass. Nice move into the zone. Feeding off his man is Fox. Tries to put it in front. And the Flyers just take it away and shoot it up ice. 4:24 left in the game. 3-0 Philadelphia. They whooped it up at the beginning, and it's been very quiet since as the Flyers have effectively shut them down. Now Simmer out of that offensive right wing corner. He's got Warren Holmes in front. Goes behind instead to Fox. Can't control it. Mark Howe has it back into that corner to Clark. Clark looks up the middle of Cochran. Takes it off his stick. Blocks it. Control sends to center ice, and the Kings will try once again. It's kicked through by Simmer at the Flyer line. Flyers break it up. Try to come into the neutral zone. The Kings take it away and shoot it in alongside Lindbergh. Taken behind the net by Howe. Swings right. Then goes left and stops as the Kings change on the goal. And is able to play it up on the left side to Cochran and through to Sittler at center ice. He rolls it in off the King's stick, shallow, chases it himself. There's Mike Murphy digging it out of his right wing corner and bounces it to center ice. And it's played away from the charging Ulf Isaacson by Dvorak back behind the King's net. Driven through the goal mouth on that quick play by Sittler. Nobody there, and the Kings, Isaacson tries to bring it out, blocked off. Sent by Allison into the zone as the first play made by Billy Barber. Now Dvorak at center. Through to Barber. He's over the line. He's in. And Lassard to save. And there was Sittler in front. They jam out at score by Ray Allison. And that ought to lock it up, folks.
Boy, I tell you, it appeared that Barber was going to get that past Lassard as he just reached back with his glove. And when I was unable to keep the puck in the webbing, and it popped loose. Sittler had a shot at it. Lassard made the save, and then Allison, following up behind the play, was able to put it in on the far corner. But Flyers had 2 shots at it before Allison was able to put the puck in the wide open side. Not one of the Kings was watching the trailer, and the Flyers have gotten the 4th goal and appears to have the game on ice.
Allison is 9th from Barber and Sittler at 16:49, and as they trickled out slowly to this point, they now are leaving en masse. You like that phrase, en masse?
Bilingual, Gene.
Yes. Not only that, but I speak 2 languages.
4-0 Philadelphia. 3:11 remains in this 3rd period.
Don't forget our Pepsi postgame show following the final buzzer. So the Kings in huff puff through most of this period, and it was the Flyers that got the first thing on the board to lead at 4-0. Out there, Sinisalo, Gorance, and Taylor with McCrimmon and Bathe, and the Kings go with Ruskowski and company. Bobby Taylor is leaving the booth now to go downstairs as we're getting a slight delay to clean debris out of here. Flyers get it at the Kings line and flip it in on Lassard, and he grabs and hangs on for the stoppage of play. And with 3:04 left, 4-0 Philadelphia back after this.
Haviland Supreme Motor Oil. Up front, its protective additives help save wear and tear on your engine, and in back, its special friction fighter helps save on gasoline. It takes proven upfront engine protection backed by improved gasoline economy and puts them all together.
Collect your set of free steak knives. Receive a free steak knife each time you fill up at the full service island of your participating independent Texaco retailer.
Back here at the Forum in Englewood, California, we're in the last 2 minutes and 47 seconds of the game. Flyers lead 4-0. And they roll the puck through the Kings behind Philadelphia's net. Good check by Ruskowski on McCrimmon as the Kings try to break it free. Out of that corner, Mark Taylor protects the puck. Is in there Ulf Isaacson for Los Angeles to get the standoff. 2:34 remaining. Flyers have a defensive right circle faceoff. Our scores around the league, and we'll go through them very quickly. 8-0 Boston over Hartford. Montreal at home tied with Detroit 5-5. Chicago won and Quebec 3-1. The Rangers shut out the Islanders at Uniondale 3-0. St. Louis won at home against Pittsburgh 5-3. Jersey broke an 18-game winless string at Calgary 4-3, and Winnipeg topped Toronto by the count of 6-3. Now it's played cross ice. Korab lines up. Shot. Lindbergh with a dandy save. The Kings get it out of the corner. Behind the net, Bozak looks for the stuffer. Comes out to the top of the left circle. Back into that corner. Rotating is Dion. Back to the point to Lewis, and there was Ron Flockhart to deflect it through into center ice as we're down to 2:15 remaining in the game. Now they try to roll through to the breaking Bozak. Flyers pick it off, and Cochran jams it all the way down, and there was a play to be made by Mark Hardy. And as he withdrew his stick looking for the icing, the linesman says, okay, you had a play, let's carry on. 2 minutes left as they dump it in again, this time to the right of Lindbergh. Mark Howe is in there first for Philadelphia. Up the slot, nice move by Flockhart right past Jay Wells, who puts the hook on him, but Flockhart follows it up into the zone, and then Wells takes his pass off, sends it through to Darrell Evans for the Kings. Lays back at center ice for Larry Murphy. Rink-wide pass hits the King, Dion, in the hip. Ricochets near side, and Brian Propp lifts a high pop fly into the King zone. It goes behind the goal, and Philadelphia going to be whistled for an icing, as Propp only intended to get that in very slowly, but sent it all the way down. We have a minute and a half left in the game. Flyers 4, Kings no score. Don Perry looks on. He realizes that his game is lost. Although last year, you recall, with a minute and 3 seconds left in the Flyers' only appearance in this building, Ray Allison scored to give what appeared to be a locked score, 2-score Philadelphia, but the Kings scored at 19:11 and 19:47. Dion and then Larry Murphy to take a breathtaking comeback tie from Philadelphia, and cost Philadelphia a very, very important point. face off in their own right circle. Clark out along with Carson and Holmgren. Marsh on with Dvorak, and the Kings go Gans will take the draw out there with Kelly and Morrison, as Don Perry has stayed religiously and with discipline tonight with his 4 lines, has Larry Murphy out with Jay Wells. Kings offensive left circle. Clark against Gans. The puck goes to Dvorak, and he shoots it right past Jay Wells all the way down. Wells had a play. Set up at the left side of the Los Angeles net by Lassard. Worked out, and here come the Kings up the middle of the ice in the final 70 seconds of play. At the flyer line, Morrison lifts it in. Blocked by Dvorak, who takes Morrison out of the play, and it's wound around to the far side past Gans by Marsh. Blocked off by Carson. He's dumped. Puck cleared behind the net. Taken by Marsh. Wraps it up on the near side for Holmgren. Holmgren stumbles, so Marsh has to go back the other way. And it's taken by Lindsey Carson. Fails to come out with it. That could be a dangerous play, but the Kings give it away into the Flyers' defensive right corner. And Dvorak lifts it high in the air, and it bounces back to the Kings line on the right side. Philadelphia quickly bringing out Braith with McCrimmon, as the Kings can't get anything generated at center ice. McCrimmon tries once, tries a second time to knock it in. It's off the skate of Morrison to Bathe. Bathe will go deep into the left and just roll it behind the net as we're down to the final 30 seconds of play in the game. It is 4-0 Philadelphia, and the Kings just throw it away at center ice, and Bathe just lifts it back in, knocked down by Larry Murphy with the glove. Over the red line, lifts in. Chasing after it is Simmer. First in is McCrimmon. Back past the Gorance on the near side. Charged, but gets it up to Sittler. Sittler can't get it out. Kings roll it in along the near side. Taken away by Sittler with 12 seconds left in the game. Barber from the blue line. Shot right on. And Lassard a tough save as Barber digs it out of the corner. We have 5 seconds left. And ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Lindbergh has his first National Hockey League shutout. And they race out to the left. And let's give you some information. The last time the Flyers had a shutout was on the 30th of March, 1981, a scoreless game at the Garden in New York with Ricky St. Croix. The last time the Flyers have won a shutout game was the 21st of January, 1981, at Pittsburgh, 4-0. And the last time the Flyers shut out the Los Angeles Kings at home, January the 7th, 1979, and the goaltender, Bernard Marcel Caron. So that's it. From the Forum in Inglewood, California, the final score, the Flyers 4, the Kings nothing. Stay tuned for the Pepsi post-game show coming up next.